The Laughing Song by George W. Johnson. As I was coming around the corner, I heard some people say, here comes the dandy darky, here he comes this way. His heel is like a snowplow, his mouth is like a trap, and when he opens it gently, you will see a fearful gap, and then I laugh. I got Johnny from Larry. I got Johnny from Larry.
It appears as a darkened silhouette beyond the falling snow. The Osiris. The boat casts off from the Queen Mary, setting across the open water towards the derelict ship before you. The snow falls slowly, almost as if on a sound stage. The juxtaposition of the snow against the sinister backdrop of the ship almost brings a smile to your face as your eyes adjust beyond the snow to the vessel before you. Call of Cthulhu Game 2, Part 2. The Osiris sits cold, unmoving, and hollow. The tomb of a madman, as the lights of the Queen Mary fade, it begins to come into focus. The light of the moon reveals the details of the ship. Upon its deck sit large shipping containers, a large crane hanging loosely over the side, presumably from the dropped lifeboat that the captain and boy left in. The deck looks devoid of life, and the windows of the bridge give the personified face of the ship a hollowed, dead look, as the clunk of the oars shift your attention back to the lifeboat. Abdul sits in the front clutching the rifle he brought. He turns back to you and speaks in a quieter tone. I don't know what windful, friends, but I appreciate you bringing me along. He turns to Cedric. I admire your bravery.
Would someone be so kind as to remind me why we left the comfort of the big, nice luxury boat and are headed towards that?
Because there's a woman trapped over there, Cedric, and we're the only ones who can help.
Right. Well, I don't know if I'd really call it bravery, Mr. Abdul. More kind of just blind hope, and maybe things will turn out. Oh, it's cold.
In the small wooden lifeboat sits Abdul Sarkar, Cedric Benson, Jan Catton, Petra Saltzman. At the back, Edgar Donnelly pulls the oars. The five of them start moving across the icy water. What is Petra thinking at this moment?
Oh, I wish I brought a jacket. Whew. And she's also thinking about what kind of madman would do such a thing. Who would put himself in such a terrible situation? Someone obviously desperate enough to stow away on a ship, try to hide, and then essentially take a hostage. He's a murderer too. What has caused him to take these actions? She's just watching the waves toss the boat as we pull closer to the Osiris.
And as you continue moving, the snow sort of falling in this bizarre way, you look over this side into the water, black and lifeless. And for a moment, you're reminded of your dream. The boy floating upon the water, the inky darkness. And as you remember the dream, your heart begins to race, the winter chill blowing across the bow of the boat, Abdul turning out towards the Osiris. You feel something in your mind tug at you. Give me a sanity roll.
Me or just
You.
everyone?
Oh, just you.
Just me, hey? All right, I have a 40 sanity. Let's see how this goes. Ooh, 5.
Fantastic. Yeah, you shake the feeling. You sort of, for a moment, you're pulled towards this sinking feeling, but you snap out of it. And as you do, you turn towards Yan, who's sort of admiring the watch that Cedric had returned to him. Yan, you put the watch back on your wrist or in your pocket, or?
It's in his pocket, but it's all he can think about is he's holding it in his hand. He can feel the gears whirring inside it, and he can just feel this tick, 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 and just this constant feeling of time passing and being too late. And no matter how quick we get there, it might not be soon enough.
As your eyes glance up towards the bow of the ship, you watch the snowflakes disappear on the surface of the water, vanishing, the ocean greedily eating up its guests. And from the depths below, you can almost sense something greater, something deeper, something cracking like thunder beneath a cloud, something hollow. And for a moment you can feel the sweat on your brow crisping up in the winter wind, crunching as you make a furrowed, thoughtful brow. And the clunk of the wood against the Osiris shakes you from your vision as you look up, each of you at the black metal side of the hull. Cedric, you feel a sort of a nudge on your shoulder, and Edgar Donnelly, who sits at the back with his collar up, says, "Smile, boy," and he moves past you and starts up towards the rung of the ship.
I smile almost instantly, but as soon as he turns away from me and makes his way towards the front of the ship, the smile disappears almost as quickly as I watch his back walking away.
And he turns towards you, pushing past Abdul as well, at the four who remain, and says, "We all know the job here. There's a woman on board, if she's alive, and a madman. I hope you're good with the gun, or at least as good as you claim to be, Petra. Let's do this smart. I want to get home to my wife." And he turns around and starts climbing the rungs towards the top deck. Who follows?
Jan's right there. He'll climb up right behind him.
Perfect. And
I'm gonna tap Petra on the shoulder, and I whisper in her ear, "Hey, Petra, did we ever decide on the amount that you'd be paying me? Because you said that you'd pay me for this, and I just want to make sure we're on the same page. That might be the only thing that's keeping me here, if I'm quite honest."
Of course, Cedric. And I'm sure you'll want to be compensated in line with the duties that you perform aboard the ship this evening.
Okay, so we're treating it kind of like a, services rendered sort of thing?
What would your base pay be as she climbs toward the front of the rowboat and gets her hands on the rung of the ship? Well, I don't know, say maybe $50 for coming with us, and maybe for any future heroic acts you feel like taking upon yourself. We can just consider that extra, a bonus.
And I'm stabling the boat a little bit while she's climbing the ladder, and I stumble a bit as she says the number. 50? 50? Oh, well, I'm following right after you, Petra. I'm coming. And I start climbing up.
And Petra, you see Cedric start climbing below you as you turn back towards the metal rungs of the ladder. Slowly you ascend, hand over hand, the frozen metal bar sort of between your gloved hands. It feels icy and cold. Your breath blooms heavily in the still falling snow. And as you climb, reaching the top, your eyes settle on the deck. It sits still and quiet, Edgar and Yan standing off to the left, the untouched snow in high piles, giving the appearance of the floor being a few inches higher than it is. Yan outstretches a hand, I'm assuming?
Absolutely, yeah.
Seems like that kind of person. And Abdul brings up the rear as the five of you emerge on the top deck. He actually ties the boat to the top rung of the ladder as well. And You all look towards each other. Edgar sort of goes to speak up, and then he stops. "Oh, this is your show. We're actually just tagging along."
Well, I must defer, I think, to Jan, who is more skilled in these matters, I'm sure.
Well, now that we're here, I guess there's a door that they locked. We should probably find that, right?
Perfect.
So, sorry, Harlan, I'm looking at this diagram of the boat here. It looks like it's a 2-level sort of dealio.
Correct. And if you look at I've updated it in the Spirit Realm, sponsored by Pepsi Discord chat. The first deck of the ship is at the top. I should say below the side view of the ship. And the captain has circled the exits that lead to the lower deck, as well as he's done red crosses through the doors that he's sealed. You are approaching the ship from based on this image, the north side of it. So you are sort of just coming up the side next to the coat room, I think.
Okay.
Or cloakroom. So yeah, Jan, you see a few eyes settle on you as you sort of are sitting on this top deck. Something sits a bit uneasy with you as you do look around. Give me a spot hidden.
Harlan, did you mute everybody?
No, I muted me.
They muted everybody.
How do we feel? Oh, that's about the worst you can do.
Yeah, you don't see anything through the thick falling snow. You feel pretty confident that this top deck is just as clear as it's going to get.
Can I also roll a spot hidden?
Yeah, if you'd like.
I would like, very much. Doopy-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Nope.
No, the snow is falling so much thicker than normal. There is a stillness to the air, and the waves, while very few, sort of push the boat quietly side to side. The piercing white moon is almost illuminating the snowflakes and casting a very bright light on this boat. You can sort of make out the high 2-story side to your left and the platforms that raise towards the back of the ship. The entire thing is bathed in darkness. No engine sound, no power seems to be on. It's eerie, like a mausoleum.
When was it that they said that they left the ship? How long has it been?
And Edgar turns and says, well, as far as the captain says, he and the boy left the ship, only an hour ago, I guess, less.
Okay. And I look at the ground. Is it covered with snow, or is it?
It's still falling, yeah. But yeah, you do see some footprints. Why don't you give me a spot hit?
I will give a spot.
You know what? I'm going to give you a bonus die because you're looking at something specifically, so you can roll 2 percentile dice.
All right. Oh, but I don't have INVICTUS open, so.
Oh, I'll roll for you.
That's points against me.
Yeah. Now you lose the advantage, and now you're back at disadvantage.
Right.
I'll roll for you.
Here we go. I got it.
Gonna join? Okay.
Okay, so 2d10 and 1d10. And so my green one is going to be the percentile.
The single digit? Oh, the percentiles. Okay.
Or yeah, whichever.
Perfect.
Okay, so I guess 17.
Yeah, 17. Is that a hard success or an extreme success?
That is a hard success.
Nicely done.
Very nicely done.
Thank you, Petra. Thank you.
So Cedric, you sort of push between the crowd and do you say something about looking at the tracks?
Yeah, I say we don't have a lot of time before these are completely covered in snow, but maybe these tracks lead us somewhere, Miss Petra.
Oh, I think that's a wonderful idea. Oh, what a smart man.
And Abdul speaks up and says, yes, I think Cedric it was, yes? I think Cedric has a good point here. I think it's important to treat this very much like an investigation. We need to be mindful. Think about these situations in a clever way. I didn't get to speak with the captain. verbatim, personally rather. So I don't know how much of his story is, well, frankly, true. And looking down, you notice that there are feet marks. You see 2 sets. You see a larger man, presumably the captain, and you see a younger set, the boy. You said you had a hard success?
Yeah.
Why don't you give me a psychology roll?
Oh, okay.
Because you're so good
Let's
at
see how
psychology.
that goes.
Well, you can charm the
Yes.
footprints, but...
Hey, footprints.
Hey, come here,
Where you-
footprints.
Where you going?
Where you going? Going my way.
Nothing.
Okay. I will say that the most you do gather from these footprints is that they don't seem rushed. You've walked in enough snow to know when you're sort of hurrying along the top deck and when you're taking your time. Whether that means
And I relay
anything-
that to the group. They don't look like they were in a rush. I would imagine if this is the boy that they were keeping, that this would have happened before they tried to escape the ship.
Now, when we met the boy, Richard, he was in dire straits and needed help with a breathing apparatus because James said that he had drowned partially. And I guess that occurred when they were on their way over from the Osiris? Because these footprints, obviously, the boy has all his faculties. He's moving himself along with no impediment.
And Edgar sort of speaks up and says, well, yeah, you know, when that guy said that the kid fell overboard, he did say it was from the ship. So maybe we should check to see if, I don't know, there's a scuffle near where the ship would have dropped.
Well, let's do that.
Perfect.
Oh,
Good idea.
where would that have been?
So looking at the deck of the Osiris, you can see that there is sort of a extendable arm that swings over to the, I guess,
On the
starboard.
south side?
Yes. Yeah, the south side of the ship. There is no boat, obviously, but the deck, or the arm, I should say, is extended over the side. And walking over, yeah, I mean, you see some footprints. You can't really make too much heads or tails of them, but there are definitely footprints around this area.
And when you say footprints, you're just referring to the 2 that we've seen before, right? There's no other kinds of treads that we're seeing, no different size shoes.
No, it seems right now that there's only 2 pairs of shoes, a young boy's and a man's.
Okay.
I start following the tracks.
Perfect.
Has that already been done?
No. So you can follow the tracks back towards the area that leads to the sort of quarters, the main area, the first deck of the ship, the inside portion. And Cedric, as you sort of start following with your eyes, they sort of lead in an obtuse way. They lead towards the port side of the ship slightly, sort of directly port from where the landing of the craft is. And so I guess north. And then they sort of scoot along the port side and then into the ship, just south of the workshop and the coat room.
Okay. I'm having a hard time figuring out that map.
Me too. Because I
thought-
don't know what port and starboard mean.
Sorry.
Port is left, starboard is right.
Whatever you say.
Yeah, it's just small,
Oh, you can zoom in.
but
You should be able to download it and then...
okay. Open original. Ah, there we go. Got it.
yeah, if you open the original and then hold...
Okay,
Control,
so they
it's-
went in. Sorry?
Yeah, so you arrived on the boat between the cloakroom and that stairwell on the north side of the ship, about the middle. Down below those boxes, you can see there's a 12-meter swivel arm near the back to the bottom of the ship. And the stairs sort of lead, or the steps, I should say, lead sort of straight up around to the left side of that crate that's just above it. up near the storage. They go north of the storage room, down through the ladder, and then straight across through the hangar towards the inside.
Mr. Abdul, you are officer with the British Navy, is that correct?
And he's sort of transfixed on the water that's sort of gently sloshing against the side. Again, the sea of snowflakes just sort of catching his eyes for a second. He snaps back and says, Yes, I am. What can I help with?
Now, a boat of this size, you would probably know quite a lot about being on one. Are you familiar with this specific kind of boat or something similar to it?
I'm familiar with boats, not this one specifically, but I can help in any way. Is there a specific question you're trying to get at, Miss?
There is. I'm curious. So we are to believe that there's potentially a hostage aboard this ship. Now what I want to know is how well sound carries. Let's say she's screaming below deck. Would we hear that from up here? Things being quiet as they are, and if we could hear it, maybe how well does the sound carry? Does Christian know that we're here by the sound of our voices? Would he have heard the steps on the deck of the ship?
That's a good question. I suppose if he's listening intently enough, yes, he could.
And if this woman was making quite a racket, is that likely to carry up here?
The only random point of this questioning is the snow. There's a few inches here. It sort of acts as a bit of an insulator at times. It can be rather dampening of sound, so it's possible, but unlikely. It's very still and quiet up here.
So, I believe that either the woman is incapacitated somehow, wearing a gag of some kind, or maybe unconscious, if she's alive at all.
Perhaps. It's difficult to ascertain, but I think you have a logic there. I agree with what you're saying. And he turns to Cedric and Yan. Cedric, are you still following the prince?
Yeah, so I followed them to the workshop. They were leading to the workshop, right?
No, past the workshop. So they were leading towards the deck, the main deck, which has the engineer, the charterer. Sort of, there's a doorway right in the center of that first deck.
Of that first deck.
Yeah, there's a hallway.
Oh.
So the whole front end of the ship is enclosed. It has different rooms and bathrooms and social areas. Yeah. So that it's leading right in between that.
I see. Okay. Yep. Okay. Well, this can't be it. I think there's got to be more footprints from when they got to the boat up top. Right? I say, and is anybody near me, or have I just been in my head following?
Right now, you've been in your head. You've sort of been following the prince.
I think I've sort of tried to keep Cedric just like within view so that he's not too far away, but sort of a little bit stunned watching the snowfall, watching everybody else walk around and investigate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so I walk up to the door in the middle, and is there a port window?
The door is actually open. It's slightly ajar, and you can see inside. It's an absolute dark hallway, a tight, small corridor that houses the rooms, houses the occupants of the ship.
Okay. And I poke my head in.
Yeah.
And look inside, slowly creeping the door open.
The creak of the door echoes within the shell of this room, of this hallway rather, and it sends a chill up your spine. Do you have a flashlight on you, or?
I don't. I'm hoping that the light will illuminate from outside.
Yeah. So
is there any light?
The moonlight is very bright, and with the white of the deck, it is sort of casting a lot of glow from the floor. But the light only reaches maybe 3 or 4 feet into the hallway. Before sort of casting the rest in sort of an ominous glow. But it's too faint to make any detail out of the darkness, besides the fact that this is in fact a hallway.
Cedric, Cedric, where do the footsteps lead?
And I kind of snap out of my focused, zoned outness, and I turn back to her. I say, "Oh, Miss Petra, they lead into here. I guess it's the chambers where people used to sleep. Should we investigate?"
Oh, I suppose so, Jan. I mean,
it seems as good a place as any to start. I've got a lantern. Maybe we can get a little light inside and see if there's anything obvious. We know they're below deck, I thought. We should find that door they locked. They left a man there, didn't they?
Yeah,
yes.
And Edgar speaks up. He says, "Yeah, Captain said he left a man on this boat named Sam's guarding the lower deck. He said it was this one inside," and he sort of points into the interior and past Cedric.
Well, that's the way we should go then.
And this door was ajar?
Yes, it was open. I don't know what that means. Probably the captain in a hurry to get out. Either way, I'm thinking if this man that's down there is, well, a little bonkers, as my mother would say, maybe we should learn a little bit more about him. Do you think one of these rooms belonged to him?
No, he was a stowaway. Remember, he and a woman and the little boy were all found together at the same time, and initially he was playing it off like they were a family of some kind, and then it turned out that he was lying.
Right, okay. Yeah, sorry, it's so hard to keep it straight in my head, you know.
She's right. But didn't the captain say that they were here for a few days? I think he said that he at least let the woman and the child have a room. Maybe they left some sort of clue as to who he was.
Maybe we should poke around a little bit? Just quick like.
You'd think
It's
in a
up to
place
you,
like
Miss
this
Petra.
they'd be able to keep the lights on.
What was that?
No, I'm just saying there's no power to this ship. It's going to get cold real quick and dark. I don't have a flashlight. You got one. And he points to you, Yan.
We can let's take the torch in through this way, and we can see if we can find a room, find a door, just to at least it gets us out of the wind.
Perfect.
So we all go into this dark corridor.
Excellent. Yeah. The metal door to the tight hallway that houses the corridor sits ajar. Snow is softly piling up on the frame. Inside, it's bathed in darkness, but illuminated by the torchlight from Yan's hand torch. No power to the ship seems to exist. It's just blackness. As your flashlight dances off the glass and wood in the tight hallway, you see a few doors open, a few shut as you move inside.
I suppose we'll just try them all in order.
Hold on. And I grab Jan's hand. I say, sorry, Mr. Catton.
No.
Would you be so kind as to direct the light onto the floor? Might be some sloshy footprints. I don't know.
Yeah, let's scan the floor and just see if there's anything before we start treading all over it.
Perfect. Give me a... let me think for a second. You're just in the tight corridor here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we don't see anything in the immediate area. I'll start creeping further in.
Yeah. You do notice, sort of coming from the stairs next to you. So as you enter, there's a set of stairs to your immediate right that lead up to the deck above you. You do notice that they're pretty well-worn stairs. The entire inside of the ship area is pretty dirty. It's a work ship. It's not kept too clean, and it looks like it's been a while since its last cleaning. So it's tough to discern anything amongst the muck and the dried grime. Why don't you give me a spot hidden?
Love to.
Yeah, you would.
97 again.
Yeah, I know you didn't say anything. All your good rolls from last week, they balanced
We're
out.
catching up with me.
Yeah. So yeah, no, you don't see anything as you guys move into the room. To your left, you see sort of a small passageway that leads to what you can presume is the bathrooms. To your right is sort of the recreation room, which is just sort of an open area. There's some tables and chairs in there. The stairs, again, are leading up towards the second deck, and there's a door before you that leads to sort of the living quarters of most of the charters, the chief engineer, and another social room.
Sam's? I'll sort of give a tentative shout.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Give me a listen roll.
I can listen. That's a skill I have.
You do. You have the most.
Sam's,
listen.
you there? 49 is good, I think. Yeah, so it's a success.
A regular success. Yeah,
Regular.
no, you don't hear anything.
I'm a good listener.
Go for it.
Yes. Oh no, I'm not.
Yeah, you don't hear anything. You just hear Yan. You're like, oh, was that you? Oh, good.
There was an echo in the room. I can't imagine being cramped up in these tight quarters for so long.
It's not so bad.
Oh,
I mean-
I'm sorry. Cedric, I didn't mean any offense by that at all.
No, of course. I didn't mean to give off the impression that I was giving offense or taking offense. Maybe, what's our next move? Should we go through here? I say as I step towards the front door towards the chief engineering room and the rest of the rooms.
Yes,
Yeah.
let's. Yes.
So you open that room, and again, the light shines into this tighter hallway even. And this were the living quarters. To the left, there's the room for the chief engineer, a few charter rooms on that side, as well as two others on the right side, a kitchen to your immediate right. And as you enter here, you notice now a bit more clearly coming from the stairs that were leading up, and passing through this doorway, there seems to be sort of a stain on the floor. It looks like it could be blood.
Oh. Oh. What's this? Oh.
It looks to be blood, Miss Petra.
How much is there?
It's a pretty thin streak. It looks like the only reason... What's that, sorry?
A drag mark?
Yes, exactly. And the only reason it seems to be clear around this doorway is it looks like someone might have paused, leaving whatever they were dragging for a moment while they fiddled with the door, and then continued dragging it past into this room and towards the stairs that lead down, which are circled in yellow on this map that the captain gave you.
Down there, huh?
Oh, you see here, it looks like whatever it was, whoever it was, maybe was brought downstairs. And this leads, sorry, we're on the top deck now, right? The very
Correct.
tippity top?
No, this is the first deck. The one below it is the deck above. The one below it is the deck highest, and then the bottom one is the lowest deck.
So, in terms of the photo that we're looking at that makes this very bad audio but very good visual, we're directly below the side view of the ship. And this
Correct.
is like the main deck, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah,
This
I
is the
think
deck you
below
enter
like
on.
the folds.
I guess I was confused because you mentioned a kitchen, but now I see it.
Yes.
So the drag marks go toward the stairs that are leading down
Correct. The ones that are circled in yellow.
and are coming from this social room or from one of the engineering rooms.
They're coming from the door that you're walking through right now. So it looks like the body was dragged from the steps upstairs, but the blood was sort of hidden amongst the muck and dragged through this door and then downstairs. So whatever was dragged came from the top deck, or at least a deck above this one.
Oh, do you think we should look to the origin of this? Maybe see if there's any hint as to what caused it?
I think down's the way to go.
We didn't see any blood on the way in. This is the first that it starts. I think Jan's right.
I'll follow you. And she pulls the pistol out of her purse.
So the door to your left is shut, the chief engineer. Some of the other doors are open. The social room is open and the kitchen is open. but the chief engineer's door is locked.
Before we go down, I'm just going to take a quick look around, and without thinking that I don't have the light, I turn and I walk towards the chief engineer room, and turn the handle.
Yeah, and it doesn't turn. It's sort of like classic cabin style, where it's like won't even turn without the key being locked. But does look pickable if you have the ability, or forcible if you have the strength, or negotiable if you have the charm.
Oh, I have charm.
Listen here, door. You want to open up?
Open up for me, eh? No, I don't have any locksmith. So I turn away from that door and I walk to the next. I walk to an open door.
Perfect. Yeah. So the remaining charter doors seem to be open, and the farthest one looks the most used. And as you pop in, I should say, you see sort of the blankets strewn back. You see a few odds and sods upon the table. You see the floor have some sort of dirty clothes on it. And yeah,
I'm gonna do a spot hidden in this room.
Okay.
And I think back to my mama, who always told me to shut the lights off and get used to the dark. And so I walk around in the darkness. 30, so that is a hard success.
Perfect. Yeah, you notice on the bedside table, sort of next to the cot, there is a newspaper clipping. And I posted it in the Spirit Realm, sponsored by Pepsi Discord Lounge.
So, Cedric has just walked away from you guys.
Yeah. And Abdul's kind of like, I don't think we should split the party. And Edgar sort of speaks up and says, God, I can't see shit. Let me see that map. And he leans over and sort of looks over your shoulder. Yeah, and I'm assuming you're holding the map for some reason.
Sure, yeah. Maybe the map and the flashlight standing at the top of the stairs, sort of waiting for everybody to go, but not wanting to leave them without light.
Yeah, and he sort of turns to you and says, look, that guy said Sam's was going to be here. I don't hear Sam's. I mean, something went wrong. I'm not going to walk down there in the dark. What is this? And he points to the electrical supply marker on the map behind the storage near the back of the boat. Any of you guys are any good with electrical stuff?
I could
No.
probably get it.
You what?
I mean, I could probably get it started.
Well, let's get the lights on in this place. I don't want to walk around in the dark. And Abdul sort of looks nervous and says, yes, maybe. I'm going to go see what Cedric's doing. Miss Holtzman, did you want to come with me or maybe help them with the electricity?
I'll go with Jan.
All right. And Abdul heads off towards Cedric. Edgar sort of spins around hastily and heads back out to the deck into the falling snow. Jan, do you follow or do you sort of wait a moment?
Yeah, let's go get this, get the lights on.
Perfect.
See what happens.
So the three of you head across the deck towards the electrical supply. Cedric, you're looking at a newspaper clipping. What does it look like?
It looks like it's for the Boston, I don't know, Gazette. Sunday, January 2nd. I'm just muttering this to myself as I'm reading. Deckhand urgently something. The Osiris leaving port of Boston on January 11th is in need of an experienced deckhand shipment to St. John's, Newfoundland, expected to arrive January 14th. Low pay but may lead to permanent position aboard the Osiris. Please look for Captain James O'Rourke at the port of Boston. Apply in person. Details to be discussed at that time. And I sense a presence in the door, and I turn. Sorry. I guess I kind of walked off there, didn't I?
That's all right. We're all a bit nervous here. I think you were doing what was needed to be done. What is this you found?
It's a clipping. Whoever was in this room must have kept it. I don't know why. It's just a bit of it. It's not even the whole article.
It seems that they were looking for a deckhand for this ship. Is that what I'm meant to believe.
I guess so, yeah. I feel like there's more to it, though. But
Didn't you try that engineer's room, but it was locked?
yeah, the chief engineers, I did. I'm not surprised that it's locked.
Your friend Petra made a good point. I'm a bit nervous to say that. Based on what that captain said, or rather what I've learned, that this man took down how many people from this ship?
Oh, I'm a little foggy on the numbers, to be completely honest. I was
At the very least, it was more than
a bit of a daze.
It was a few of us. A few of them, I should say. I'm a bit nervous to walk down below deck. Why don't we check out that chief engineer's room while they're going to fiddle with the lights?
I tried, Mr. Sarker. I couldn't get it unlocked. Well, not that I know anything about.
And he reaches up to his turban and he sort of like pulls out a small, like, not a bobby pin, that sounds unfair, but something like that. And he's like, I think we could try again. And he walks over towards the door. Jan and Petra, you meet Edgar at the junction box, sort of, and he's standing back like, look, I'm a security officer, not an engineer. Can you make any heads or tails of this, Jan?
Yeah, I mean, first thing we're going to do is make sure it hasn't just been turned off. Make sure nobody just threw the switch and turned it off. That's our first troubleshooting. And if it is, turn it off and on again. Maybe that'll work. So we're going to try that first. If we got to open up the box, we'll open up the box. I'm a little fiddly on what goes on inside there, but I get the basics.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the switch in the off position?
It is.
Well, easy. I got this one on.
So you do that, but nothing happens.
All right. So now we got to start really troubleshooting. Why did we turn it on and nothing happened? Could be something's not making the circuit. Got to look for fuses. Got to look for that kind of thing. And that's
So, yeah,
how we got to break into this pack.
You open it up, and your sort of torch scans a sea of black knobs and rubber buttons. And it now looks on. It looks like there's a few disconnects. It doesn't look too difficult. Do you have electrical repair?
I do, actually.
Well, why don't you give me a Rolo?
What does it look like, Jan? Do you think sabotage, or could it have just the snow?
Like there's just this moment of like he's got this problem in front of him, and his mind is just blank. Got a 97 again for the third time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it broken?
You don't even know what this is. For all you know, this is like...
I mean, this is very different than the ones I've seen at home.
Carly donated 1 XP to each of the investigators.
That's right. Additionally, remember, you can always push a roll.
Oh, that's not going to help me here. But I'd love... I can spend an XP to reroll? Is that what's going on?
Sure, let's do that.
Get some lights, please.
Thank you, Carly.
Still not going to do it. That's a 78, and I needed 20.
Oh, yeah, no. So yeah, you take a look at it again, and you can't really make heads or tails of it. You know electrical boards, you know.
Yeah, like this. I get the principle of it, but they're. I mean, once they've waterproofed it, and it could be there's just the generator's not on to get power even here. I don't know.
And Edgar sort of looks at you and he's like, "All right, what do you do in your job, Ian?"
I mean. I'm a piano tuner by the last couple of years, but I've worked on a little bit of this, that, and the other. Driven trucks around.
Nah, that's fine. I wanted to know who I was up with, I should say. So a piano tuner, and Miss Petra, you are a what?
Excuse me?
What do you do? What do you do for work?
Oh, I don't work.
Well, what do you do for money?
Oh, I mean, it's never really been an issue. Petra Saltzman. The Northwestern Paper and Steel Saltzmans?
Oh, right, of course. Hold on. And he sort of looks at Jan for a second, and then looks back. Why on earth are you here right now? What was that, Jan?
Oh, that was an accidental button I threw. Because it's the right thing to do. Because Helen is down there, and she needs someone to quit fiddling with the lights and go find the door and knock it up. And like the clock is ticking here. We gotta go. We can't.
Oh, one moment, Jan. There's a bigger question here. And that is, we all shared a really, really terrifying dream. Something that brought us all together. The three of us, Cedric, Jan, and I. Did you have any dreams recently?
And Edgar sort of just looks at you, like in a really confused way, and he's like, You're on this boat with a gun against a madman because of a dream you had?
We dreamed about the boy. We all saw him in the dark water.
Okay. And he just brushes past you. Abdul is sort of picking the lock before you. And he's going to give it a roll. Because he's a person too. And a person's a person no matter how small.
He's a character, even if he is a non-player character.
Even if he's a non-PC, he's still an NP. Yeah, and he doesn't succeed either way. You know what? But fuck it, he'll push it. He's gonna be like, I can do this, and he's gonna try again. Yeah, no, he still doesn't. So he's like, his pin snaps in the lock. Oh, bother. Unfortunately, no luck. I guess we won't know what's behind this door. And he sort of kicks it a little bit as he turns and sees Edgar standing in the doorway. Yeah, we couldn't get the lights working either. And Jan and Petra, I assume you're coming in the rear?
Yeah, and as Petra kind of brushes into the corridor, she goes, oh, no luck with the door. Edgar, you're kind of a beefy fellow. Did you want to try and knock it down?
Yeah, all right, fine. And he walks over to the door, and he's just going to run into it.
Yes.
Because it's Edgar, and he's beefy. And
with his head like this.
And he literally just made it, so that's actually not bad. So, yeah, he sort of stands back. The ship is quiet still. You're in this tight little hallway, and there's not much room for him to maneuver. And Jan, as you sort of hold the light, he reels back and he runs with all of his might, and the door just flings open. And sort of a smattering of little particles of wood and some bent metal sort of litter the floor as he tumbles into the room. And a moment passes by, and you kind of just hear him go, oh, Jesus Christ. And he stands up as you move towards the door, and you see through the sort of fading moonlight that's coming through the small porthole in this room, he's sitting on the floor in a bit of shattered, particles next to a mattress stained a deep red. And he's like, oh, God. What the hell happened here?
Looks like someone was murdered.
Is he on the mattress or he's beside it?
He's sort of on the floor next to it. One of his arms is on it. And he sort of stands up and he looks at himself. It doesn't look like any of the blood got on him, and he walks over to the doorway.
Is anyone else in there?
No, I don't see anybody. You look in, the rooms are pretty small. The mattress is stained a deep red in untold amounts near the sort of head area and the upper chest. It also flows over onto the floor, but the stain looks at least well, give me a medicine check. If you want to know how old it is. Anyone?
Is first aid different than medicine? It is.
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah. Nope.
I'll roll just for fun.
For funsies.
No.
So yeah, you can't tell how old it is, but it's definitely not fresh. And he sort of stands back, and for a moment, the 4 or 5 of you are all standing sort of looking into this room, this deep red soaked floorboards, this red stained white mattress. And Yan, you hear a cough.
Quiet, everybody. Did you hear that?
What?
Someone coughed.
I didn't hear anything.
Shh.
Give me a sanity roll, yeah?
Yeah. Love to. I got all that sanity.
Sanity to spare.
I don't know what I'm looking for there. So, yeah. I did not pass that one.
Yeah, no, you recognize that cough. It sounds like your brother. And it sounded like it was coming from the room directly behind you.
No, I definitely heard something. It's like we just directly behind us is the charter room or the kitchen?
The kitchen.
The kitchen?
Yeah.
I think it came from the kitchen. I'm just going to take the light over there and start sweeping it around.
We were just in the kitchen, Jan.
And
Sam's?
you duck in and you sort of shine the light around and you see a kitchen. It looks unused except for some drawings that are sort of on the kitchen table. And you walk over and you see that the drawings look like they're done in sort of like pencil and crayon, like a young boy would have done them.
What are they of, or is there a general?
There's a picture directly on top. And it looks at first sort of like a stone. It looks like a large black stone. But there's sort of spikes sticking off of it. And along the bottom, it looks smoother, and there are white dots on it. It sort of looks almost like teeth along the bottom. And for a second, you bring it up to your face. Your eyes transfixed on the sharp, jagged pieces that stick off it like twigs almost. The bulbous shape of it, almost organic in nature. And as you hold it, you can feel a creaking in your mind, an itching, something that feels like it's squeezing tighter and tighter. And before you realize it, the paper is shaking slightly in your hand.
This doesn't make any sense, though. Petra, Cedric, do you see this?
You turn to them, and as you do, you hear the cough just beyond the paper, sitting in the booth beyond the table. And quickly you bring the paper down to see the booth is empty as Petra enters the room.
Jan, why do you think someone would lock the door on a bloody mattress?
Petra, it's the black stone. Look, just like in the dream. Do you remember that part?
The image before you, Petra, doesn't look familiar, neither to you, Jan, but it definitely does look like some sort of stone shape. And obviously the word Blackstone is reminiscent to the dream.
Maybe it wasn't a person after all.
Oh, the dream, yes. There's black water and the young boy floating dead or dying and so pale, and then the word Blackstone. Yes, and the cracking sound in the deep.
Sorry, no, it sounds mad.
Where did you find this?
It's just on the kitchen table right over. And he stops and looks at where where he was sure there was a coughing sound coming from before. Right over on that empty table.
Are you okay?
I'll be fine. I just feel like we're running out of time, or like we're.
Yes, we're trying to examine the room with the blood, and you walked away with our only source of light. Could you please help us?
Yeah, no, let's come back and I'm not sure. Yeah, let's take another quick look there. That makes sense.
Cedric, you've been looking at the room, letting your eyes adjust to the darkness. Is there anything you were checking or wanted to check?
Yeah, I'm looking for instruction manuals. Books that maybe the chief engineer would have kept as reference.
Give me a luck roll.
Luck.
How dumb is this engineer?
He's just got to study up.
Totally.
36. And that would be under my luck, which is... Yeah, it's good. It's a hard success.
Brilliant. Yeah. You open the cupboard and you see... Not only do you see the manual, you see a flashlight.
Oh.
The most valuable thing.
And, all right, and I grab the flashlight, and I grab the books, and I make my way over to Petra. I walk right by Abdul, and who's helping Edgar up off the
Yeah,
floor.
he is. And they're sort of both looking at the mattress, sort of with wide eyes, sort of speaking in hushed tones.
Okay, so a couple of questions about this scene. Does the mattress appear to be native to this room? Like there's a bed where the mattress was pulled off of, or is it something that was brought into the room?
No, this looks like the mattress that belongs to the room.
Okay. Can I roll a spot hidden now that we have a couple sources of light?
Absolutely.
Oh, before you get too close, Miss Petra, here.
Oh.
I pull out a handkerchief and I pass it over to you. And
Oh, thank
just
you.
over your mouth, just in case there's... Oh, I don't know.
No, of course. You're very kind. Let me just see here if I can see what I can see. And that is
Ooh.
just about the best roll you can get in the game.
Well done.
Thank you. It's all because of the handkerchief.
Oh, I knew it would come in handy.
Yeah, let's say you look through this room. And I will say what you do see is a nameplate on a piece of luggage in this room. It's actually on a few pieces of luggage, but they're sort of stashed under the bed and sort of out of sight. And the name is Matthew Frett.
Matthew Frett. Now it's on nameplate. We have not yet heard the name Matthew from my notes. So anyone's guess is as good as mine.
So Cedric, you now have the manuals for the electric engineer.
And I walk up to Jan, who was slower to get back to the room, and I say, Mr. Catton,
Yes.
I found this manual in here. Edgar was saying that you weren't able to get the lights on. Maybe after looking at this, it might help.
Yeah. Oh, Cedric, that's a great idea. Thank you. Let me take a quick look through, see if I can find a basic schematic or something.
Oh, no problem. No problem whatsoever. I mean, I definitely don't have the skills to do it myself. That's all you, Mr. Catton.
I'm going to say you can immediately either roll again with a bonus roll, or you can do a library use to sort of look through the book and let that be your way to access the control panel.
It's the same either way, so let's just roll again now that I've got the thing. With
So it'll be a bonus die.
Yeah, so we'll go the wait. All right. I know how this works, I promise.
Nice. So that's a
What
1.
a 1.
You're always either fucking
Yeah. So you're looking at
Out of extremes.
Extreme success. Find the diagram. Oh, the button. I know.
you're looking at the manual and you're like, oh, and you turn it upside down. You're like,
Just, I don't know, it's complicated. I understand why I couldn't get it before, but yeah.
yeah. And with a fire
I
in his
see it.
belly, Yan walks across the snow-covered deck, and a few moments later, the lights click on to the ship. And Yan, you're bathed now in sort of the spotlight coming from the bridge level deck. Even a dim light comes on in the bridge, and for a moment, the deck of the Osiris outside seems a lot more ominous. Something about the falling snow, illuminated by this light, makes you feel like you're almost in a scene of a play. And as you walk back towards your friends, towards the inside, passing by the workshop door, which sort of hangs listlessly open, and the coat room door beside it, you get an eerie sense of uneasiness. But everyone's in light, and Abdul sort of goes, thank God, that was quite frightful, to be honest. I'm not a man who scares easily, but something about this area is quite terrifying, wouldn't you say, Miss Petra?
What?
I suppose the issue with turning on the lights is that now he knows we're here.
Yes, but as you said earlier, I think he's aware of our welcome anyway. We might just have to be clever about it, I don't know. Jan, you were going to say
Well, it's a
something?
good thing I found this flashlight.
Hurrah! Keep it for later.
Well, The lights were all Cedric. Maybe we should head downstairs now. We've got to at least find the door that they locked.
Yeah, so there's this bloody skid mark leading up the stairs and down the stairs. Doesn't seem to connect with the mattress in the engineer room, correct?
No, it does not.
Different bloodstains. Good. Good and exciting.
So yeah, Abdul sort of takes Jan's cue, and he'll take the lead, and he starts walking down the steps towards the lowest deck, which is right on the bottom of this map, where that yellow arrow is pointed. There are 2 more small rooms down here, and as he exits this, you see that there is an area that connects to the sort of engine room of sorts. It sort of walks around the back of it. And there are 2 more beds, a small bathroom, and then a big red X on the map. This is where the door is locked. Do you all follow him?
I
Yep.
do, yeah.
Perfect.
Yes.
So there is an eerie sense as you enter this lowest part of the ship. The feel of icy fingers up your spine are almost too real as you nervously look around. You feel watched and heard. Every step a booming reminder that you are here upon this ship. Every breath seems louder than the last. The bloodstains at the bottom of this metal flooring lead towards the locked door, towards the cargo hold, the one that's marked on your map. They turn around the steps and drag towards the doorway.
No sign of Sam's.
None.
Sam's.
Your voice echoes in a tinny way under the hull of the ship, but there is no answer. The door before you is locked. In fact, there's a bar reinforced across it.
Well, this hardly makes any sense. Oh, I suppose the captain didn't tell us in what order everyone was murdered and what happened. I guess all of this blood and bloody mattresses and drag marks and everything could have just as well happened before the stowaway was locked behind this door. Right?
It must have, right?
And Abdul says, it's also possible that if he was seriously sick and hurt, it's possible that he killed himself and the woman. There could be only dead people behind that door, as much as I shudder the thought.
Of course, I guess I'm just wondering, why is there a drag mark? If the door is barred, why would this madman drag a dead body or dying body downstairs before the captain locked him away?
Now, the captain said that one of their guys was shot by the guy, and that he and Sam's had to drag him down to the cargo hold, and that's when they got the gun from him. And that's when they turned him around and locked him in there. So maybe this blood is from the guy they dragged from the top deck, but that doesn't explain where the blood came from the engineer room.
No, it doesn't.
And Edgar sort of sits on the bottom rung on top of some blood, and then stands up and moves between you 3, and he bangs on the metal door towards the cargo hold. It rings out like a clash of thunder amongst the cold, quiet ship, and for a second, the sound startles everyone. He turns back. Either the guy in there is just playing dumb, which he very well might be, or no one's in there that's still alive. Or this whole thing is a fucking goose chase. I don't know.
You didn't have to come in.
I know. All I'm saying is, I want to check out the bridge first. I don't want to open this until I find out who's behind, or rather, who was dragged down these stairs. And he moves past you and starts heading up.
Maybe there's a roster of everyone who was on the ship at one point. That, if it was a cruise ship, it would be in the hosting wing, but I don't know. Maybe on this type of ship they keep it up in the. What was the word you said again?
The bridge.
The bridge. That's right. I'm still not up to date on my ship terminology. Yeah, the bridge. They might have a list there.
Minimally, the captain's got to have a log of what's happened up until the events of
Right,
tonight.
of course.
And Abdul sort of takes a sigh and looks towards Petra. How do you feel, Miss Saltzman?
Uncomfortable.
Me too. Something about what your friend Cedric there said about the feet on the top deck. It sat uneasy with me. And he addresses you, Cedric, and says, you mentioned that the steps were, what, slow, well taken?
They weren't rushed. They weren't rushed in a way that would be indicative of someone trying to escape the ship. And yet there weren't any more footprints out there that I saw.
I think I'm with Edgar on this. I think perhaps investigating a little bit more before opening this door is the way to go.
I'm just going to poke my head in these few rooms here and just make sure they're tip-top, if you know what I mean.
Definitely.
And I stick my head in first the northwest room and then working my way around clockwise.
Yeah, give me I'm just going to say a general spot hidden for all of it.
Okay.
Looks like there's a couple of bedrooms.
Success.
Okay, I'm going to say nothing jumps out at you. There's some boxes. One of these rooms looks like it's used for storage more than anything else, even though it has some beds in it. The beds are folding up into the wall, and there's a few oil drums in here. No, that's about it. You don't see the monster hiding behind them.
A bit untidy, but no murders. Blood.
Yet.
Should we see where the drag marks originate from?
I think
They seemed to just start out of nowhere, did they not?
No, they came from up the stairs. The very top.
We just didn't notice them until they were pooled slightly in the doorway to the second part of the deck above us. Yes, I agree, Miss Petra.
Sounds like a good idea, Miss Petra. Yeah.
And Abdul sort of nervously looks at the door that's locked to the cargo hold and follows Edgar up the steps to the second deck, leaving the three of you alone for a moment.
I'm gonna put my ear against this door and just listen.
Yeah, give me a listen roll.
See if there's anything on the other side that sounds.
There's a Cthulhu.
There's 6 Cthulhus. Ha!
That's a lot of. That's more than I'm ready to handle.
Well,
17 will do it. That's a good one, but not a great one.
hard?
Hard success is the word.
You press your ear against the cargo hold door for a moment. And I'm going to say, yeah, you hear something. You're not sure whether it's movement or the creaking of the ship in the water. But it doesn't seem... It seems like there's something, perhaps, within this next room.
So is it like an inconsistent movement or something that's like a steady kind of...
It's an inconsistent movement. It's a Cthulhu.
I knew it! I knew it!
Petra, Cedric, I can hear something on the other side of this door. What if it's Helen? What if she's just there and she needs our help and she's just on the floor on the other side of this door, too weak to bring out after that show? We could save her just by opening this door. I understand it's foolish. I understand it. If we open this door and walk away, it lets the potential for a madman to be all over this boat. But there's a woman trapped here, and she could be on the other side of this door. We're here. We can't just walk away to go investigate. We need to save this person. That's why we're here.
You're right.
Jan, I don't think it's foolish at all. Miss Petra, what were you going to say?
I was going to say that he's right. That We can't let our curiosity get in the way of saving someone's life.
Right. And you're saying, Mr. Catton, that the risk of letting a madman onto the boat with the rest of us is outweighed by the chance that we could save this woman's life.
Absolutely. That's why we're here.
We won't let him free onto the boat. We'll stop him.
And Cedric has a weird moment where he just stands there and he's nodding, and he's kind of staring through Jan, and his mouth is going from a smile to a faltered kind of grimace to a smile again, and he connects eye contact with Jan, and then it falters once more, and he looks down at the ground. Mr. Catton, let's be honest here. The captain arrived at our boat an hour ago, right? And we left our boat an hour later, and then we arrived an hour after that. So if you think that madman, if you believe everything that the captain is saying is true, and that madman is in there with that woman, the man who has killed every single last person on this ship, what are the odds that she's still alive in there?
It doesn't. Plenty of people survive hours and hours and hours with madmen all the time, especially ones who appear non-threatening and aren't trying to actively, kick somebody off a ship for being a madman. This woman is if that person is there, has no, there's no reason. And I understand it's silly to talk about reason and a madman in the same sentence, but maybe he's hurt. Maybe he needs help, and she's the only. Who knows what's beyond this door? We just can't. I can't walk away right now.
I don't think it's silly at all, Mr. Catton.
Don't patronize me like that.
I'm not patronizing you. I'm sorry, Mr. Catton. I do think that I will defer to Miss Petra in dealing with this situation, but I don't think it's a good idea that we open that door right now. We don't even have our full.
Give me a sanity roll.
Sure. I got all the sanity. That's not bad, actually. So it's my sanity 65. I rolled a 60.
So you succeeded.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, nothing happened.
I agree. No, enough. I agree with Jan. I go no farther until we see what's beyond this door.
I'm going to start prying the bar off the back of this door.
Yeah, you can just remove it. It's only slid through sort of a turny wheel,
okay.
Like locking it.
Turny wheel.
Yeah, those things. So yeah, you slide it out.
It's a club in case I need it, but
okay, perfect weapon.
As he's doing that, I turn to Miss Petra and whisper, "So you mentioned heroic deeds before. Does this count as one of those that wager me a bonus?"
It's to be determined.
To
Oh,
be
there's the
determined.
door.
And the squeaking of the wheel is, again, bellows out a screech in the sort of the underhalls of this ship. And it's heavy to turn, Jan, but you manage to feel that last bar sort of pry out from the lock as the door slowly swings open. And immediately it hits you, the damp stench of death. It's tinny and thick despite the biting cold. The wetness of the room before you unsettles you as it touches your exposed skin like a damp fog. The oily smell clinging to your flesh, coating the inside of your mouth as you breathe. Give me a sanity roll.
All of us?
No, he's the one that took the blast. So.
Oh yeah, 50.
Sort of like,
relax.
Yeah, you're fine. You still take 1 point.
Sure.
You can taste it. It's like inside you immediately.
Ugh.
And as the door creaks open, you see the engine room. Pipes sort of are the first thing you immediately see. The lighting in this room, despite the power being on, is very dim, minimal, and your torch provides most of the light. Petra, Cedric.
I go to help Jan to see what's in the room. Clutching my revolver, shaking hands.
Perfect.
And I grab Miss Petra by the arm, and I quickly let go. And I just say, Miss Petra, I'm afraid I can't take another step unless you assure me that I am going to be compensated for what I'm doing right now.
Of course. Whatever you need.
Whatever I need. Okay. Okay. Here, I'll go first. And I step in front of her.
And you,
step into this area.
Perfect. You enter. Above you, the once creaking pipes, when this boat is in full motion, sit silent. Frozen drops of water formed stalactite-like daggers inches above your head. The waves that move against the ship now are a bit heavier. You can feel the boat starting to rock slightly as you move into this engine room. And you can almost hear the water moving within the pipes. Your eyes sort of focusing on the darkness in the corners of this room, the pipes almost reminiscent of tentacles, snakes, thick, wet, covered in a glistening slime. And the water, it tinkles and runs. It almost sounds like whispers. Cedric, give me a Stanley roll.
Fail.
The whispers pile upon each other, bumping into each other, the words you can't make out, and yet the voice you can. It's your mother. That biting voice, that clawing voice that defined so much of your childhood, that tore into your soul, that tore into your person. You can hear it whispering in the waters in the wall, the pipes that run above your head, despite not moving, despite the water staying still. You can hear it clinking, splashing, whispering, digging into your mind. Your torchlight dances within the room, jittering up and down, the hazy cold focusing almost like a fog. It's near freezing, and your breath blooms as you feel a hand on your shoulder. Yan sort of realizing that you're shaking.
Cedric, it's going to be okay. You're meant to be here. But you got to be here. And don't step in front of the woman with a gun.
You have to, please, be careful where you're walking.
It was just a little mistake.
Yeah.
No big deal. I'll learn from it, I promise.
You're doing great, Cedric. Really.
Thank you, Miss Petra. Thank you, Jan.
Here.
Yes, I am back here. And I'm ready to move forward.
If it'll make you feel better, hold this. And I'll give him the bar that was barring the door.
No. I'm better just with my fist, please. And I look down at my hands, which are clammy and slimy, and I try wiping them on my damp pea coat.
Yeah.
Loner.
And you do. You sort of rub them and hold them out, and immediately they start crisping up again with the icy cold of the engine room. And you move in, all three of you, past this room towards the open door to the main hold.
Can I presume that Edgar and Abdul are kind of guarding the door for us?
No, they're on the bridge. They're like
they
two
went
or three
upstairs.
layers ahead of you, or above you, I should say. They have not come back. You can go check on them if you like, but they seem
They're
to be
dead now.
Let's clear this place out. They're dead now.
Well, yeah, so beyond this engine room lays the main hold. There is a a door that sits slightly ajar towards the main hole as you sort of move around the corner of pipes. And as
Helen,
you do,
you in here?
yeah. So you sort of speak out, and you don't hear any movement immediately. And you enter the next room. And entering this room, your feet... Sorry?
Mr. Velnick, show yourself.
Are you readying your pistol in case he pops out?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Okay.
I'm not pointing it at anyone, just sort of like up by my face.
Good. Entering this room, your feet stick to the icy floor before you. The flashlights in your hand shake wildly as you try to fight against the chill of the cargo hold. Streaks of moonlight seem to fight through the small cracks in the ceiling, casting beams of blue light into the room. Your flashlight's cutting through them, dancing past to the large center column of this room, your eyes each searching the room as you enter, until they fall upon a figure in the center. A headless, frozen corpse of a man. The remnants of his head splayed out across the cold metal floor before him as if he was knelt and executed. Everyone roll sanity.
And if we lose a sanity roll, we take 1d4, correct?
You'll take... Well, I would assign you. You should only have taken 1 for that failure last time, Justin. I didn't say.
Oh, okay.
Looks like you all succeeded this one, though.
I failed.
Yeah.
Did you really? I think I got a 4.
My sanity's 40 to begin with.
Oh, Petra.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So
I'm kind of wacky.
Oh,
you're going to take a 1d3, so half a d6. Yeah. This body is just... It's sort of kneeling, almost like in a praying position.
Nobody deserves this.
It's kneeling?
Yeah, it's kneeling with its back towards you. And like it's keeled over now, obviously.
Like in the fetal position, but like on its front, not fallen to either side.
Exactly.
And its hands, can we see them? Are they like splayed out behind the body or in front?
No, they're sort of tucked out here where the head would be, as if, yeah. Petra, as you
gotta have a head.
as you look at this body, you can hear something sort of tickling your mind. Something that is, it's almost like a hum at first. This deep, bellowy ring. And at first you sort of turn to say something to them, but you realize it's something within you that's humming as you approach this man. And as quick as you notice it, it's gone.
You might want to get that handkerchief out again, Miss Petra.
Yes, you're right.
And I'm gonna kneel down and I'm gonna take a look at the man's uniform or whatever he's wearing.
Yeah. So it looks like he's wearing plain clothes, sort of like a sort of a leather jacket on top of some jeans and stuff like that. But underneath he is wearing the colors of the first mate.
So this was the first mate. Is that a name that we have already?
Yes, Sam's. This is the one who is set to guard the prisoner.
Okay.
Can I listen?
Yes, you can. And you can also check the body if you want. You're sort of
I'll check
looking
the
at
body.
it, so I don't want to... Okay, perfect.
That's a listen.
That's a crit!
That's a listen.
That's perfect.
My ears are so good.
So you're going to listen, and you guys are checking the body. And as you check the body, your hands... Did you roll already, or you just...
I haven't. No, I'm not sure what I'm rolling for that, actually.
I would say nothing, because I think you're going to succeed anyway, because you're already checking it. You just gotta check its pocket. It's like a matter of time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you find something in his pocket. Something torn. It looks like a piece of a log. And I posted in the chat. I'll let someone read that out loud for the people at home, and then we're gonna resolve your listen, Petra.
Christian Velnick is a monster. I've taken the woman-child and Charles with me to the bridge, but I cannot find Matthew. Somehow Christian has gotten into the weapons locker. However, before we locked ourselves in here, I managed to cut his left eye up good. He won't be using that again. Thank God Dobson couldn't make this trip.
Petra, as you hear Jan read this out, your ear twitches and you move your eyes, I should say, towards the back of the boat. And you hear it before you see it, movement. A figure stepping out from the darkness.
Stay where you are.
As you point your pistol, a light is drawn up. Jan and Cedric both pointing their lights in the direction. You see a woman wrapped in blankets, a single arm held out, sporting a knife. She has a small hat with a pink flower and wears flats. She's wrapped in blankets and with a confused look, she speaks with a hoarse voice. Her lips are purple and her face is gaunt, her teeth stained red. My God, did you kill him? She says.
Helen?
Did you kill Christian? He left me here to die. And she sort of takes a weak step forward.
Petra runs toward her and catches her up in her arms.
And she sort of kneels down.
Everything's all right.
You killed him? Is he dead?
What? We haven't killed anyone.
Where is he? Is he still... He's still on the ship. Did you get him?
There's no one on the ship but you. No one that we found alive.
And she looks towards the two that are with you. She looks at Jan and Cedric, and she looks back. You says, "No, the man on this ship, the man who killed all of these people, everyone on board, and left me here to die."
The man who left you to die, Christian?
Yes, Christian Velnick.
Did you defend yourself against him?
No, I couldn't. I tried, but I couldn't. And she sort of starts tearing up.
You didn't inflict any wound on him?
No, Sam's did, though. Cut his left eye up good. That bastard. You haven't found him? He's not... How did you get here?
I think we know where he is.
Petra turns back to her friends and is like, oh no. Oh,
Helen,
no.
is there anyone else on this ship?
No,
just you?
And wherever that bastard took my son.
We know where he is. We can take you to him.
Don't take me to him. You need to kill him. That man is a monster. He killed all of us. He told me he was going to do terrible things to my son. You have no idea. Wherever that man is, whatever he is doing, he is going to kill every person he can to get what he wants, to get the Black Stone.
Pardon me, Miss Helen? You said he took your son?
Yes. He took him. I don't know why.
Well, you will be reassured to know that your son is safe and he's with the captain of this ship.
No, Cedric.
No, Cedric. He's not.
The captain of the ship is dead. And she looks back over her shoulder to the small alcove that she came from. And she looks back and said, the captain was murdered 4 days ago. And as she looks at you, tears welling in her eyes, from the distance you hear the Queen Mary's boat signal loud and clear in the darkness.
Fuck.
We have to get back.
She reels back in pain. Ah! As each of you feel a sharp pain shooting through your mind, like a dagger behind your eyes. And we're going to stop there for the mid-game post.
Woo!
Yeah. Clap, 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 clap. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Call of Cthulhu Game 2, Part 2. My name, as always, is Mr. Harlan Guthrie, and I'm here with the lovely Ms. Jo Fallak.
Oh, hello.
The wonderfully talented Mr. Justin Thomas James. And the gorgeous, sexually charged Mr. Rob Deobald.
Hello.
Welcome, one and all. Hope everyone's having fun tonight. It is time to do the thing. Can everyone tell I'm sick? I'm like all stuffed up.
You're doing great, baby.
Sluggy.
Yeah, you're doing fantastic. I didn't notice.
It's the perfect balance right now of Monster Coffee and NyQuil. I think you've just found it.
Just
The
In
it's,
tune with the other side.
the
And
Venn
the center
diagram
of it
is dehydration.
Yeah.
Hope everyone's having fun so far. This is the INVICTUS stream. This is, of course, an 18+ show. It's going to get a lot worse from here, so buckle in.
Promise?
Yeah. I do.
Buckle up, buckaroo.
You guys are doing great so far. I'm having a lot of fun. I think you're really... I really appreciate the choices you're making. I think they're really good. I really like that you just went into the cargo hold. I was kind of dreading if you wanted to be too investigative. I appreciate just pushing it forward. Makes me feel better. And ultimately, this is kind of the start of the game in my mind. So we're going to see what happens from here on out.
Great.
What's that, Rob?
Glad we got to the start.
Well, this is where I wanted to end last time, funnily enough. I just did really bad timing.
4.5 hours in.
Yeah. Well, in a 10-hour campaign, it kind of all works that way. But you guys are doing so great. This is really exciting. I love the nervousness of Cedric and sort of the extorting nature he's trying to push upon Petra. I love the introspection and sort of already clear sanity breaking of Jan. And I love this sort of intense Petra. This, like, it works so well with your green eyes where you're kind of like crazy a little bit. You're kind of like, we all had a dream. Like, it's really good.
They're eyes that say, I have 40 sanity and I'm not afraid to lose them.
But you know what? But it's true. I would love to think it's a conscious decision because it's so clever. But I think you just naturally have walked into this character who's like almost like creepy without in any way trying to be creepy. Like, she's very innocent and kind and being honest with herself, with these people. She's kind of like, it's a dream, but it's really like obscure to everyone witnessing it to be like, okay, you're really intense, lady. It's working really well.
She's so eccentric, and in her mind, she's never actually done anything this like significant or important that it almost feels like a dream to her, that she's like, oh, well, what do we do next? Like, this is so exciting, but then there's like a fucking dead body.
Yes.
I almost wonder, like, has she ever met a consequence and could imagine there being one to her actions?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? We're gonna find out. There's gonna be some consequences
Probably
for the
not,
actions.
though.
So
Probably
yeah,
not.
we've ended at a pretty interesting point. We're going to jump over to the mid-game post. First and foremost, I'm gonna say, oh, what is this? I would like to give Rob an XP for his next 97. So next time you roll a 97, Rob, Zia's going to give you an XP.
Oh, wow.
I rolled 3 so far, so number 4 is coming up.
I think it has to be specifically a 97. It can't be anything else.
Yeah, I got 1 in 100 chances. That's fine.
You're good. Well, yeah. So first and foremost, mid-game post, or MVP this week, I should say. Oh, every week, our Patreon supporters get an enigma to solve. So first and foremost, if you have not joined us on the Patreon, please consider doing that. The link is in the description of this video. It helps us make content like this, which is really lively and exciting when I'm feeling a bit better. But this is the kind of stuff we love doing every week, and we appreciate so much the people who have allowed us to do that. It gives us the option to go to conventions. We got to go to Queen City Conquest with Rob, actually. Because of the support that you guys have given us, and we appreciate that greatly. So please, if you do already, thank you so much. And if you are considering donating to us, please do so. Clap, 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 clap. Secondly, as I was saying, with the Patreon, if you are somebody who supports us, you'll get access to the weekly enigmas. These are things that we release to you Friday at 8 that will A, help frame the story, and B, give you an opportunity to use your real-life brain power to aid these investigators in-game, the reward of which is 5 XP that you can spend in-game, which Carly McDonald right? I've said it so many times, Carly. Now I'm blanking because I'm all messed up on drugs.
McDonald's.
McDonald's? McDonnelly. No. Oh my God. McConnell? Did I say McConnell already? This is not good.
You're saying it now.
Anybody?
Carly McConnell.
Carly McConnell? Do you guys just silent? I'm not even aware. Now I need to check.
I'm just like watching your wheels spin sometimes. It's pretty cute.
If I was not reading a lot of this, I would be so out of it. I'm so happy. Guys, before this started, I had a Neocitrin and then I had a coffee drink. That's what Rob was doing. So I'm like kind of loopy on drugs and high on caffeine and dehydrated and stuffy.
Mm-hmm.
Right, everybody? Anyway, so what was I saying? Patreon. So last week, Carly won it. She solved it first and foremost. She got 5 XP. Everyone who else solved it after that correctly got 1 XP. This week, I am happy to announce that the first person who solved it was... Drum roll sound effect queued up. Wait for it. Carly again.
Hey!
Yeah, it was Carly McConnell. Okay. No, I can pronounce it, Carly. I do it every week. I'm just, for some reason, I'm totally going batshit crazy with names this week. So Carly won again, first place, which was really, really funny.
Are we gonna do my enigma this week?
Yes. Yep. It's already
Exciting.
scheduled. Yeah, it's very exciting.
It's gonna be tricky, so good luck.
It's a Trixie Hobbitses. Anybody? Thank you. I needed somebody. But anyway, well done, Carly. Actually, only 2 people got it right this week, so maybe it was too tough. Because Carly got it, and then Bjorn got it. That's it.
Ooh, do they get XP for this?
Yeah, Carly gets 5. So really, it's easy right now, because so far, Carly has 10 XP, and everyone else who got it right has 1, and I'll send you a list of that.
Spend all that XP on.
Well, Carly already set it up by giving us each one.
That's nice.
She said each of us.
I feel like
each
a
invest.
steak dinner.
You what?
A steak dinner.
Ooh. Yes, please.
Ooh, yeah. Save up and you get 1 million XP. I will buy you a steak dinner.
Whoa.
Really?
I will do it.
Even me? Because I can assign the
You get 1
XP, so I can just give myself 1,000. How much did you say? 1,000? 1 million?
You said
I said 1 million.
Did you really say 1 million?
I said 1 million.
no, let's not inflate the XP economy.
Yeah, let's not ruin it. That
It
already
just
happened.
print
Really.
Yeah. Plus, you've got a vested interest. I feel like there's a
This one?
It would be a conflict of interest for you to create the money. It'd be like the mint making money for their buddy.
Yeah. Mint money.
Yeah.
We still need to do steak dinner, Justin.
We still do. We haven't done a steak dinner yet.
No.
We
make
Harlan shows Justin how to make shit.
Yeah, in real life.
Series coming to you on the
Cooking.
Invictus Street this spring.
Anyway, Carly McConnell. Well done.
Oh, I wanted to shout out Chronicle Brewery.
Brewery. Is that how you pronounce their last name? Brewery.
Chronicle Brew Me.
Krandu Schnudebuku.
Drinking a single holder milk porter. It may seem like I'm drinking more of them, but sincerely, I guess I'm kind of lightweight. It's also 6% ABV. Art. Isn't that gorgeous?
That's so great.
Cullen has just pointed out that I owe Kevin Costner a steak dinner already.
You do.
I
Well,
do.
everyone knows that you can't owe 2 different people a steak dinner. So
Well, I don't owe Harlan a steak dinner. That was not arranged.
But I think you should owe Kevin Costner a steak dinner and then bring me along because I want to meet him.
Yeah.
yeah.
You'll be a third wheel dude.
I don't mind. Let's be honest. You'll be the third wheel because I will be so into Kevin Costner.
I don't think so. I think that if this actually happened, because I don't know anything about Kevin Costner, I wouldn't fangirl over him. And he would be like, oh, like a real person. And you'd just be like, oh my God, tell me more about your time on Waterworld. I just need to know what you were thinking at this time in this moment. How about that accent in Robin?
You know what?
What were you
You know
thinking?
what? Yeah, you're
It sounds
right.
like you
yeah.
know a lot about Kevin Costner from that, is what I took away.
Only through him. I had never
love-
seen Robin Wood or all of Waterworld.
Did you just say Robin Wood?
The classic hero.
Wait.
from English folklore.
Wrong version.
That sounds like the porn parody.
Robin Hood and the Tight Man.
Wrong version.
Actually, before we all got on the stream together, Harlan did mention that because someone posted little emojis of everyone who's on the stream tonight, but there's no Rob emoji yet. Wink. So they put a Kevin Costner emoji instead, and Harlan was like, that if Kevin Costner was on stream with us, there would be a problem. And I was like, why would that be? Because you would be so jealous.
Because I'd be like,
Kevin Costner, I am.
hey, K-Man, how's it going?
See, that's why you'd be a third wheel.
Yeah, well,
You say
unless
things
Kevin
like
was
Keenan.
into it. Unless he was like, yeah.
He might be into it. You're right. Yeah.
Kevin Michael
Boy,
Kevin Michael Costner.
Robin Wood.
Robin the Wood.
Kevin Michael Costner. Is that you? Is that how you start the interaction?
I'd start off by saying that I know his middle name. I'd be like, hey, Kevin Michael Costner, I'm not freaky because I know your middle name. And he'll be like, that's cool, man. And then he'll give me a
Do you want to
hug.
know my name?
It's Michael now.
I really just want to enjoy this steak.
I think part of me believes like he's actually my dad. That a lot of people, you know how some people grow up and their like mother tells them, it's like, oh yeah, this is your father because maybe the father had left home, and then they believe like idolizing Neil Armstrong or something like that. I think Kevin Costner's my dad, so I'm just excited to meet him.
Why is that?
Because I like him. And I want him
So
to
how
know.
would you cook a steak for Kevin Costner? What sort of steak would you cook him?
Porterhouse.
Great question.
Porterhouse.
Why don't we do
Chicago style, where it's like blackened on the outside, rare to medium rare on the inside. He'd love that.
And what's the perfect side for Kevin Costner?
Twice baked potato, and a glass of water.
What kind of steak?
That would be a great stream. That would be a great name for a stream. Cooking things for Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
And you just cook things with the idea that like
Kevin
if I was
Costner.
cooking for Kevin Costner, this is what I would.
And
this is
every
what I would
episode,
put together for him.
every episode will end with me sitting down at like a nice table, like
Yeah.
with
And just being stood up every episode.
every episode.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just waiting. Open the wine.
Light 2 candles.
Like
Water.
It's the credits.
like Kevin
Yeah.
McAllister on Home Alone's attack night, where he's like everything's ready, and mind you, he's eating alone, I suppose. Yeah,
Just
every
the camera zooms out, leaves the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
watched
one
a
day-
shot from outside the front door, like, and you can see in through the windows, and you're eating a steak dinner by yourself.
I love
And
it.
there's a extra plate of steak. It's like when people put an extra plate of steak for Jesus.
Or cookies
With
for
Kevin
Santa.
Harlan, you should just start setting an extra place at your kitchen table
In hopes that Kevin
every
Costner
day.
comes by. I like it.
Just every day.
That's
And
right.
Henry one day will be like, Daddy, why do you do this? Why
I'll
do
be
you
like,
like this? And you'll be like,
Because
you
of your,
want to get
I'll say because of your
Yeah.
grandpa. I'll say because of Grandpa Kevin Costner. See,
Because-
I will raise him to think that his grandfather, that my father, you know, so like one day when I die, and hopefully before Kevin Costner dies, Henry will like go on a really great cinematic quest to find Kevin Costner, his grandfather. And then Kevin Costner will be
God.
like, who are you? And what are you talking about? I've never even been to Canada.
I'm
is
not
that?
over the sentence, Daddy, why are you like this?
Except there's the
so
big
weird.
twist that he's like, oh yes, he is. He is my son, and then Henry's gonna be like,
Cooking
it
with
was
coffee.
Barney Stinson, I think.
yes, with
Who's like,
Bob
who thought
Barker.
his dad was
Yeah.
Bob Barker. Yeah.
Same thing, except mine's real.
Right.
You want to know
of course,
why?
yeah.
Okay, here's why. See, I got this. I got a wonky tooth here. See, this one's bent back a little bit. Everyone get a good shot of my teeth. See, this one's a little tuck. If you Google Kevin Costner's teeth, he's got the same one.
Really?
Explain that to me.
Can't
Can't.
explain it.
I couldn't. I've got a dentist appointment tomorrow, though.
Like Kellen.
Hey, so question for you.
I was trying to find
What,
Kevin
buddy?
Costner's Twitter, and lo and behold, guess what I found? Invictus follows Kevin Costner on Twitter. One follower, you know.
By the way, Michael pointed out that the porn version of Robin Hood is Robin Wood.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's
Robin.
good.
Robin Wood.
Robin.
Is that
Robin.
too far apart, though? It has to be similar enough. Because if I read Robin Wood, I wouldn't think Robin Hood.
But you would if there was someone
true.
with a bow and arrow and a silly
Robin
green
Wood.
lantern.
Oh, ooh. If it was like Robin Wood, Prince of, I don't know, Thieves in a sexy way.
Sleeves?
Prince of Sleeveless. I don't know. Then I would be like, okay, this is a porn parody of Robin Hood. But I don't think Robin Hood on its own would be enough. Sorry.
Prince of Cleve.
Ooh! 10 XP to Justin.
Is it Robin Wood and the Sheriff of Nottingham?
Nottingham.
Ooh, and Nottingham. I like that. Prince of Thieves. Oh, wait. What was it called? Oh, Robin Wood, Wince and Leave.
No, thank you.
Wince and Leave.
Is that
Hey, if you're not
Robin Hood shoots and
wincing,
leaves.
if you're not wincing and leaving, you ain't doing it right.
and immediately goodbye?
Hello? Hello?
Oh, Prince of Sleaze. Oh, Prince of Sleaze. Well, Sleaze makes it sound bad, though. But that's pretty good.
That's the answer.
I think that's it. Yeah, well done, Adam. You get an XP.
France?
All right. Oh, speaking of
France.
the MVP, because I never actually did it. Mid-game post is Carly for winning it. But this week, I should go back 10 minutes and say, join the Facebook group, because when you're part of the Facebook group, we pick the post of the week that we thought was the cutest or funniest or most related to role-playing or the farthest away from role-playing. Really, we just pick whatever the fuck we want. And we say, hey, this is great, and we like to celebrate you. So this week I would like to award it to the one and only, and my God, I hope I say your name right, Zoph, aka Sophia. I've never said your last name until I didn't even do it now. Zeratali. I'm doing it in the worst place too because I'm like all hopped up on medication. But Zoph, I know you. I've talked to you. Unfortunately, I'm sorry I can't pronounce your last name. Zeratzlak? Is that a K? I wrote down H.
Zeretlek.
Oh, I wrote down H. That's why.
Zeretlek?
Either way, we're
Zerlek?
sorry we can't pronounce names. We are terrible. But,
I'm
Sophia...
not sorry. Look at all those consonants.
Well,
I should call you alphabet.
That's mean. But, thank you, Sophia. Your post was of your fucking adorable cat watching the stream on a little couch that you had. And it's probably the most adorable thing I've ever seen. So, well done, Sophia, for just being you. I'm so happy that you were with us. Additionally, what's that?
Proud of her.
Yeah, me too. Additionally, I'm really proud of Sophia and her boyfriend Rob Donaldson, who have helped us out. He's been helping us out with some really cool artwork for this campaign that you are gonna get to see in a few minutes.
What? Sneak peek?
No, it's part of the game. Sophia. I said Sophia. Didn't I say Sophia?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Zoph. What's
Justin
yours?
said post MVP here.
Oh, I see. Rob calls her Zoph. I don't know if she likes to go by Zoph. I don't know if they're watching. I saw him post
I'm
earlier.
sure her partner calls her a name that she hates, probably.
Well,
right?
you do it.
Oh,
I'm
what do I
just
call
teasing.
you?
No, you call me Kevin Costner wannabe.
I call you Kevin Costner, but that's because you explicitly asked. And by explicitly, I mean explicitly.
How fast can you change your face like this if you're like
No.
I can't. I don't know how good I am at it. I've never. You have to like. I guess.
Very good.
Am I? What if I'm like this? Listen here, you. Is that good?
Yeah.
Did I do a good job?
Flawless.
What if I'm like this? I'm so worried about. No, that was too similar, eh? If I was like,
Oh, can we do that game
I should practice that.
which game?
where you do more than one emotion at a time?
Oh yeah,
Harlan's
go for it.
very good at it
Okay,
because you're such a good actor.
pick two emotions, and I'm gonna try to combine them.
You keep the camera on yourself.
Okay.
So the emotions that you have to do are scared, and that's not scared though.
I haven't heard the other emotion yet.
I think you have to do one pile on top of the other one.
Okay.
Scared, and then amused. You're not very good this time.
I just wait. I'm waiting for the third amount. Third one. Okay, so scared, then amused. So not like frightened, like scared. Like give me what I'm scared of. Am I scared that like I'm gonna back into a car or that I'm gonna get killed?
You're scared of being murdered.
Oh, okay.
And then you're amused about the funny costume that the killer's wearing.
Why are you dressed like a clown, man?
You're gonna throw up at the same time. But you're also amused. No?
I think I did okay.
I said going to throw up.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna give myself the emotional milkshake success. That's what Colin called
Oh, that's a great fucking name for the game.
Emotional milkshake.
it. Yeah, emotional milkshake.
Emo shake. Emo mashuk.
You want to try, Rob?
Taki.
You want to try an emotional milkshake?
Sure.
It's like
What's
an
going on?
acting test. Okay, so here I'm gonna give you like the 3 layers on top of each other, and you just subtly act each one. Okay, so first you're gonna go like happy, like returning to your childhood home, and then it's gonna be
That was
layered
good.
in with.
That was really good.
It's really good, but then you're still keeping that emotion, and it's gonna be layered in with remembering a bad memory from that home all of a sudden, and then realizing that you have to destroy this home in like the next week because you have to just bulldoze it. Wow. Hey, that's good. That's a round of applause. That's good. That was good. I bought all that. Shit. Rob, you're good, man.
Yes, you're done.
You did that really well. I'm not even placating. That was dope. All right, Justin.
Okay.
Okay. Give me like nauseous, like you ate something really just that's not sitting well with you. And
Okay, am I doing them all while you're
yeah,
talking?
we're milkshaking it. So you're doing nauseous. You eat something that's not sitting well, but now you're trying to suppress it because you know you have to go into a big meeting and you want to look okay. So you're trying to move past the nauseous and you're trying to be positive. And then it's going to be finished off with seeing a girl that you've just been infatuated with for so long, but you haven't seen her in like forever.
That's good. I think it
Emotional
always has
milkshake.
to end with vomiting.
Pretty much. Everyone did one. Did you want to do one, Joe?
Okay, I'll do one.
Okay.
I'm
Joe's
really bad
turn.
at it, but I'll try.
No, you're
Okay.
not. Rob
Right.
was fucking great at it, by the way.
Oh, I missed it.
Okay.
I think we're recording these, so we're gonna be okay.
Oh yeah, definitely. First, we're gonna do like curious, like there's a darkened alleyway, and you wonder where it's leading to, and then it like sort of leads to something really happy, like a carnival, like something that brings you a lot of joy. But then you realize that it's actually the carnival that you were like abandoned at as a child. Yeah, you got it.
Did I do it?
You did it. You did it, babe.
Nailed it.
Wait.
That's good. You definitely have to. It's the only way this works. Perfect. All right. Do we do it all? Do we do the thing that we had to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. So, I guess that's it. Without further ado, let us return to Call of Cthulhu. Game 2, Part 2. The shooting pain behind your eyes becomes so powerful you can barely see straight. You see your vision blurring in the dim light of the cargo hold. Helen before you in your arms, she screams loudly. Petra, you hear screams around you. All of you are screaming as this pain feels like a driving nail spike between your eyes. Everybody give me a sanity roll.
Oh, just barely made it.
I'm good.
I'm great.
Perfect. You feel something cracking in your mind. You can almost hear it. It sounds like something is twisting that metal spike in your brain. You hear whispers, different than the whispers you felt you heard in the engine room, Cedric, different than the voices that you've heard in the darkest nights, Petra. These whispers form into one voice, and yet they're comprised of hundreds, almost like a hive speaking in the same meter, almost the same tone, but of different volumes and variations. You can hear them speaking to you directly, and they're saying things, different things to each of you. To you, Petra, they say, "You will be lonely forever." To you, Jan, they say, "You'll never see her again." And to you, Cedric, they say, "She will always be with you." And as each of you hear this voice, you can still feel yourself pulling away from it, succeeding at the nail that is trying to drive itself into your mind. The voices, while potent, fade as you hold on to your sense of self, your sense of purpose, your sense of knowing. You can feel your strength within you pulsating like a blue light. You can feel it. And then you pass out. The cold metal of the ship deck, you can feel it beneath you, on your face, as you each fall down against the ground, the thud echoing against your skull, and then blackness. And you are standing in a small room. To your left, there is a kitchen. To the right, a small bedroom, and windows that seem to overlook a city. They're too far from where you're standing next to the table. A small door is behind you. The light outside the window shows that it's maybe late in the afternoon. It's a sunny day. It looks warm outside, hot almost. What do you do?
Are the three of us all standing together?
Yes.
What just happened?
Petra, is that you?
Johan? Where are we?
You can see each other sort of standing in this room, but you seem to be almost occupying the same space. There's a inability to comprehend exactly what you're experiencing. Jan, you can look over and hear and see Petra, and yet by the framing of the room, you're standing in the same spot, almost like you're watching her from a third-party perspective, and in the same instance, Cedric as well.
Where am I?
Okay. All right.
It has to be a dream.
We're in a house. Something doesn't feel quite real, though.
Where's the ship?
Why doesn't somebody give me a spot hidden? Or a idea, or a
I got ideas for
power
days.
roll? Sure.
Time to roll that 97.
Ha!
Not a 97, but I succeed.
Okay. As your eyes float around the room, you begin to focus on the details. The table in the center of this small kitchen is round, but slightly crooked, as if not perfectly cut. The wallpaper lining the small kitchen walls, it's not a pattern you recognize. In fact, it almost looks like jumbled lettering in a script that you don't know. It's not hieroglyphics, it's something different, something bizarre. The windows that you see on the far side of the room, they're translucent, almost like a membrane. The details of the kitchen, they seem almost wrong. The fridge is an uneven shape. The sink looks like it's almost covered in small hairs.
We're dreaming. We're all dreaming together. This is like the dream with a young boy, where we occupy the same space, but now we're aware of it.
Okay.
What do we do?
Okay. We got to know where this is. Is there a front door?
Yeah, there's a door behind you.
I just want to peek my head out and see if there's an address on
Totally,
the
yeah.
house.
And you go to grab the doorknob, and it has like a give to it. It feels like loose skin draped over iron. And as you turn it, the skin turns, but the door doesn't. Yeah, it's pretty horrific.
It's really gross.
Can you imagine? It's like...
Like a visceral
Oh.
sort of. Yeah,
Oh,
on a
that's...
chalkboard.
I don't think we're supposed to get out of this room.
But the color of the doorknob seems accurate almost.
That didn't feel right at all.
This area almost seems like something's interpretation of a bedroom. Like the basics are there, but the details are missing. And as you're
Did you
standing...
see there's something on the walls?
The pattern on the walls, like the actual, when you look closer at it, it's not actually like a design, but like script.
I'm picturing this as some like Michel Gondry, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, like camera tricks where you're sort of like looking at someone and they don't have a face, and then they're you, and then you like moving to a different place in the room, but you don't walk there.
Yeah, exactly. You're not here, but you're here. And actually, as you're standing here, you hear a voice in the bedroom around the corner, and it says, "Damn."
Who's there?
Petra like hovers over to the bedroom.
Yeah. You turn the corner to see a middle-aged man sitting at a desk. His back is to you, but his hand is outstretched, painting a model train. The train and the man are perfectly accurate. You can see the details in the painting. You can see the brush strokes. This area almost is in focus. The wood grain on the desk seems accurate. "Ellen?" he says, and he sort of turns towards you as you enter, and his face sort of drops. "Oh, it's you."
Do you know me?
"Of course." And he sets down the train, and he stands up, and he takes a half step towards you. The focus of his area sort of fades, and as he walks across the floor, the wallpaper sort of comes to a more accurate depiction of what the wallpaper would look like in this apartment. It's almost as if the focus of the room, the concentration it takes to make this reality, exists only around him. And he steps towards you. The small bedroom he occupies has an office desk that he was sitting at, and in the corner it looks like there's an empty crib. And he walks towards you excitedly. Again, all of you sort of standing, witnessing this in the same occupying space. "I thought you didn't make it." And then his face sort of drops, a perplexed look upon it, as if a moment of realization washes over him. "Henry, I don't." And then he stops. His face grows serious. He looks at each of you, and yet only one person.
What's my name?
"You're not Henry." You look down for a second, you occupying one body, and as you do, you see your right hand glows a bright blue. And as your eyes look back up to the man across from you, his loose tie, his wrinkled face, he sort of smiles a sad smile and says, "Save the boy." And with that, you open your eyes. You hear the creaking empty metal shell of the ship groan around you. The crashing waves are louder and violent against the hull of the Osiris. Your body is stiff and frozen. Each of you can barely move at first, but slowly you manage to open your eyes. Your face is cold against the metal. You can feel drool or blood or something, but your face is stuck to it. Your bones are aching and frozen as you sort of stretch. The boat rocks heavily. You can feel the up and down motion of it as the waves outside seem much higher than below. You can even hear them on the deck above you.
Petra? Cedric?
I'm here. Oh. I just had a weird dream. You guys were both in it.
Yeah, me too.
Man with the train.
Helen? Helen?
Miss Petra. It's okay. She's got to be around here somewhere. I'm going to do a spot hidden.
You don't need to, because the minute you sort of go to stand up, you hear the woman's voice, Helen's voice. It's a bit deeper, and it sounds like it's on the far side of the room. And as you do, you look over, you see the darkened shadow of that corner. I can't forget the night I met you. That's all I'm dreaming of. Now you call it madness, but I call it love. She turns to you. Do you like that song? And in the pale blue light of the rocking ship, through the cracks above her illuminating her, you see the toothy grin on her face is wider than humanly possible. Her cheeks are split, pulled back, almost as if stretched to reveal a sinister grin that cuts away at her face. Her teeth look sharper than before, almost animalistic, and her eyes are bright and intelligent. A cold, calculated mind behind the arched eyebrows and villainous smile that you see. Her lips are curled up, dried and cut, leaving red stains on her thin, almost translucent teeth. As she stands, you see the frozen blood on her chest from a cut on her throat. You're gonna love how this feels, she says, as she starts walking towards you.
I don't
Stay
understand.
back. Stay back. Stay back.
And she continues moving towards you. Do you back away or does she continue moving?
Yeah, she's backing away.
Okay. As you back against the metal of the hull. Jan?
Stop, Helen. Stop moving.
No. I know you don't see this, but I'm doing you a favor, she says. And actually, I'm going to show you a picture of what you see.
It sounds lovely.
This is
You
artwork
can't wait to have some nightmares.
done by the very lovely and talented Mr. Rob Donaldson. Let me just figure out an easy way to share this. Probably this way. There. So this is what you see.
Oh, not
Sort of this wide cut smile upon her face in sort of a sinister grin, but her eyes are still bright and intelligent, that she is looking around at you. And as she continues walking towards you, Petra, she's almost laughing. She's excited. And as she walks past the knife that she dropped earlier, she bends down and scoops it up and continues towards you.
Stay away from me. Stay away.
You take the bar?
Help!
Is the bar that was barring the door still sort of within arm's
Yep.
reach?
Everything is pretty much still within reach. And perfect. And as she continues, she just stops and says, Petra, you're gonna love it. I'm doing this for all of you. And she leaps at you, and she's going to attack. So your opportunities here when dealing with attack is you can either dodge, fight back, or you can maneuver. So dodging basically is going to give you the best chance to just dodge, but you won't do any damage. Fighting back is going to give you the best chance to damage this person in return, and maneuvering is a bit more complicated.
I am going to dodge and use the XP that Carly donated unto me. Thank you very much, Carly. I hope to die another day.
Perfect. So you're going to roll a percentile die on your dodge, and hopefully you will succeed. And she is going to roll on her attack.
Oh, I should have said that I step in front.
20.
Well, perfect, because she got a
I
97.
succeed.
She fails. So she leaps forward towards you with knife drawn, and she swipes at the air and completely misses and turns towards Yan, who's standing next to her, and says, okay, Yan, that's fine. You can go first. And she continues towards you.
So just to understand my chances, what am I rolling in to do each of those three things that you described? Is there
Okay, so first and foremost, this is initiative, so it's going in order of dexterity. What's everyone's dexterity?
65.
60.
35.
Perfect. So that's Cedric, Petra, and Jan. And hers is 65. So she goes with Cedric, and she already went. So Cedric, it's going to be your turn. Basically, you can attack with any weapon. So you can use your fight, you can use your fist, you're unarmed, blah, blah, blah. You roll, and depending on what that person does, if they dodge, the attacker is going to win with a higher level of success. If they fight back, the highest level of success wins no matter what. And then maneuver is basically fighting back as well, but it's a different effect instead of damage.
Gotcha.
Okay, so because her back is turned to me, I'm going to run up behind her and try and knock the knife out of her hand.
Okay, perfect. So that's going to be like a maneuver type scenario.
Like a brawl, sort of.
Yeah, so give me a brawl roll. And she's just going to use she's going to use fight back. Because she's just an angry woman.
She's an angry woman. Ooh! 98.
No.
Yeah. And
I guess I can't use XP now, eh? It's got to be before.
Yeah, no, you can't use it after. So she fought back, and she has a higher level, so she is going to win, and she's going to swipe at you with her weapon. And she obviously hits, and it's going to be a 1d4 damage. So you go to try to knock the weapon out of her hand. Is that what you were doing? I forget, sorry.
Yeah.
And almost without taking a step, she turns around and swipes the knife across your belly and cuts you.
Whoa. I take how much?
1d4.
Oh, am I rolling damage?
Yep. Or I can. And she continues singing.
I got a 2.
You made a promise to be faithful by all the stars above. You call it madness, but I call it love. And she pulls the blade up to her.
Shut this lady up!
Her
Get out of here.
mouth,
We got to run.
and she starts licking the blood off the blade.
Can we run?
Alright,
How does
who's
that
next?
work?
Of course, yeah, just run. There's no break in. There's no attack of opportunity, so you can just run.
Do we have to do that on an initiative count?
If you want to, you don't get the impression that she's really gonna. Well, put it this way: it's Petra and then Jan, and then it's gonna be Cedric at the top again because she had an attack of opportunity. So, yeah, you all can just run if you want.
Okay. Petra's going to run.
Perfect. Petra, you burst out of the room and into the engine room, which is now still foggy and clinging, but it feels much warmer than it did when you passed out. And as you move through this steel pipes towards the bottom of the steps, you hear Yan moving behind you. I'm assuming, Yan, you're moving as well, right?
Yeah, not so far that we're like abandoning Cedric. I want to make sure that he's started coming our way before we get too far out there. But I want to sort of get back to the other side of this door for sure.
Perfect. Yeah, Cedric, you also move afterwards to the other side of the door.
Yep.
Excellent. And then she is going to try to obviously make her way out of that door as fast as she can. So she's also going to make a dexterity roll just to see if she can sort of match your speed. Not that she's going to attack you, but to try to run. And she has a 19, so she's pretty damn quick on your heels. She actually forces herself into the doorway as you do. And Yan, you see Cedric seconds before her. Cedric, you step through, but she's essentially directly behind you. So you have the lead, but you're unable to shut the door.
That's me?
Yeah. Petra, you're at the bottom of the stairs in the next room, and you sort of are waiting for the guys.
Petra suddenly realizes that she has a gun.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, oh, and she runs back into the other room.
Perfect.
Step out of the way.
And as you see Cedric entering the door, you see the woman behind her, and Yan, you're there as well. Cedric, you're at the top of sort of the initiative order at this round. What do you want to do?
I see Petra with the gun, and I duck down as she's kind of like fumbling it right in front of me in my face. And I swing the door open wide. And I say, Jan, duck! Duck and run!
Perfect. And so she's up, so she's going to try to, as she sees this knife, she's going to try to, sees this gun in her face, she's going to just try to make like a maneuver and just dodge forward, roll forward.
Bullshit.
Hers is 30, so she does not succeed, actually. So she tries to do it, but her foot gets caught in sort of the little bulkhead that they have in the passageway, and she trips forward, actually, stumbling right in front of your gun. And she smiles wildly at you, Petra, with like this fire. And for a moment, your eyes meet hers, this almost glazed look. It's cold and calculated and intelligent, but it's inhuman. The pupils almost look wider than possible as she meets your eyes for a moment.
I wanted to save you.
And she says,
then she
"You did."
squeezes the trigger. I'm going to use an XP from Bjorn.
Ooh!
Thank you, Bjorn.
Perfect.
And roll with advantage again.
Let's do it.
That's 299.
299.
Yeah, no, that's bad. That's a 92 both times.
Oh,
Wow.
that's really bad. Yeah, no. So your gun clicks. And she's like smiling, and she's like,
Bullets.
and as
Oh,
you,
I forgot.
yeah. Jan, it's your turn as you see this woman snarling and smiling, and Petra's gun click inches from her face.
So Petra's sort of in a doorway. The three of us are on the other side of that doorway. Is that?
Petra is in the engine room. The woman has
Okay.
ran towards her out through the room. Cedric has opened the door, and he's sort of standing next to you because you were
All right.
waiting on the inside of that door.
I would like to push her back into the other room so somebody can close the door.
Perfect.
That's,
Yeah. Give me a
so,
push.
I'm not sure what that.
Let's
push.
roll a
Roll.
let's roll a strength roll maybe.
Oh, that's not gonna do it.
Really? So you go to push her, but
Nope.
she's sort of a wily little one. She steps out of the way, and as she does, she didn't succeed either. So nothing happens. She tries to move, but you don't really get the push on her either. And Cedric, you're back at the top. So if you open the door, you've seen her run in. You see the click of Petra's gun. You see Jan move forward, trying to push her in, but she steps out of the way. And you're watching this all unfold. What do?
I slam the door on her in the threshold.
Okay, she stepped forward, but her hand is actually still sort of in the bulkhead, and you slam.
Oh, I thought she was kind of caught in the threshold.
She's sort of halfway through because it's a tight corridor. It's sort of tough to come all the way in, but she did definitely step in so that Petra had that shot. So,
Right.
but her hand is definitely there, and you slam it. And I'm just gonna do a straight
yeah.
up straight up and down dodge roll for her to see if she actually. I'm going to do it with a disadvantage actually, because I don't think she's really going to be paying attention. So that it's a 15 or a 5. Yeah, I know. She catches it and she's like pulls her hand out as you slam the door.
Can I do a strength roll against it? Do I have a?
You can, but her dodge was very, very successful. So you can try to do higher than that, but go for it.
Okay.
If you get higher than a 15.
Oh, that's kind of a cracked die, but that's a 75.
A cracked
So
die?
it's not
On the rolling table. Yeah, no. So she sees it and then turns to you, and again, it's her turn, and she turns back towards you and leaps at you. So again, you can dodge, fight back, or... oops, I already rolled that? No, I didn't.
I'm going to fight back.
Okay. So you're going to roll whatever you would do to fight back.
That's a success.
It has to be lower than hers, though. It's the higher level of success that wins. And her fight is actually a 40. So you know what? She doesn't hit you. You hit her. So do damage. Whatever your brawl would be. You're hitting her with.
Unarmed. Okay. 1d. So unarmed is 1d3 plus db. Damage bonus is 1d4. So. Okay, so I did 9 minus 3, 6 points of damage to her.
Oh shit! Yeah. So you kill her?
Yeah.
Okay, so I try to push the door close, and it kind of like bounces back, and just kind of sitting there, and I just knock her in the face, and she goes sprawling back, and she collapses in between the door, but she collapses onto the threshold, onto the little lip, and we hear a crack as her skull connects with the metal lip underneath the door, and a pool of blood just starts to form around the back of her head.
Absolutely. And her lifeless eyes are still bright and wide as they're looking up. Her toothy grin cut all the way back to the cheeks is just staring up towards the sky.
Okay, run.
You turn.
All right.
Yeah, you turn and run, and as you do, you reach the bottom of the stairs and begin heading up. You spin around towards the upper deck, and as you do, you see deep streaks of red across the white snow on the deck, leading towards the back of the boat.
I just look at Petra and yawn, clutching my stomach.
Oh no. Edgar? Abdul?
You step
Is
out
it still
into the
nighttime?
But it's like almost it is still nighttime. And as you exit out, the snow has stopped. It stopped snowing. You have no idea how long ago. The sky is still black. In fact, it almost looks starless. And as you enter, or rather exit onto the deck of the ship, you see these deep streaks of red, and the ship is wildly moving, just up and down. You almost have to steady yourself in the doorway leading to the deck. As you follow these deep streaks of red off into the back, they actually lead into what looks to be the workshop.
Okay, Cedric, quick, let me see if we can put a bandage on that or something. You can't be walking around with a knife wound. That
I don't know if you can use this.
Okay, let's use your scarf. This is gonna hurt, but
Okay.
And give me a bonus
so
roll
first-
because of the scarf. I think that's cute.
sure.
Petra just runs to the side of the boat and hangs onto the rails. Help us! Help! Just screaming out at the open ocean.
And as you're looking out into the open ocean, you actually can't see the Queen Mary. 48, is that success?
No, it's a fail.
Okay, yeah. So you try to wrap his wound, but you just can't quite grab it.
It's okay. We gotta find the others.
And as you're standing there in the bulkhead, Petra, you're leaning over the railing screaming, but you can't see. In fact, you can't actually see past the light of this boat because the deck light is still on. And the lights that were illuminating the Queen Mary seem to be gone, or maybe the Queen Mary is gone entirely. Just something about the open ocean fills you with a sense of dread, and over the whistling winds and the crashing waves, you hear it. I can't forget the night I found you. And from the cloakroom next to you, out walks Edgar. The same toothy grin on his face, his teeth cut wide and translucent. And without waiting, he dives forward with his teeth out, looking to take a bite out of you. So again, you can dodge or fight back.
She's gonna fight back.
Perfect. Because fuck that guy.
Basically, yes. Fuck that guy with her gun.
And 77, he's going to fail anyway.
She hits.
Amazing. Give me a roll.
How much damage does a gun do?
It should be on your sheet. Probably anywhere.
I don't have a gun on my sheet. I took one from someone else on board. Remember when we were about to leave?
Oh, that's right.
First episode, I was like, I need a gun.
Probably anywhere between a 1d6 and a 1d10.
Cool. We'll go 1d8 because that's in the middle.
That's pretty fair.
2 damage.
Okay. Yeah, you fire at him and he goes reeling back against the side of the coat room. As the gun cracks out on top of the deck, Yan and Cedric, you see him reeling back. Edgar looking in the same twisted face that Helen had the deck below. Something about the way he looks is almost... It's the same. Whatever is all across his face was the same that attacked Helen. And he reels back, blood splattering against the metal wall. What do you guys do?
I want to just run towards him and sort of check him over the edge.
Amazing. Yeah.
And I guess I've got an XP from Bjorn.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Let's do that one.
Do it, and he'll just dodge as well.
33.
33. All right. Well, he's gonna dodge. So, if he is, if it's a draw or lower. Yeah,
what
so
happened?
He dodges it.
I thought it was gonna be that you rolled a 97.
No, it's 20. It's a 24. Yeah. Let me just make sure. Yeah, no, he does. So you go running towards him very successfully, but unfortunately, something about the almost the combat surroundings of him seem just so attuned. And he steps back quickly as you sort of just grab onto the railing. And he actually backs away onto the deck a little bit, looking at you. And he turns towards each of you and says, "Why aren't you smiling anymore, Cedric? Let me help you." And he takes a half step towards you.
Okay, I'll smile with you. And I raise my fists and wait for him to come at me.
Perfect. And well, then he'll attack. So again, fight back or dodge.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I got a hard success.
So he did 2. What did you do? Fight back or dodge?
Fight back.
Okay, so yeah, no, fight back. If it's a draw, he wins. If it was whatever, then you would win. But no, if you're gonna fight back, he's gonna win. So he goes to take a hit at you, and he does, unfortunately. But he's just using his fists.
Right.
So it's gonna be a 1d4 again.
Am I rolling?
At? Yeah. What's your health at, by the way?
Right now it's at 10.
Oh, that's not too bad. So yeah, 1d4. He just goes off and like sucks you.
Oof.
Oh boy.
It's 4.
And he knocks you down. You go spilling out across the snow. And he stands back.
Okay, so it's actually... but he does an extra 1d3. So an extra 1.
What's that?
He does an extra 1d3 because it's 1d4 plus... or 1d3 plus damage bonus.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, fair enough. And he stands back and he looks towards you, and for a moment, he just smiles. And he says, "You don't understand because you haven't seen it. But let me help you. This is good. No more restrictions, no more holding back. Every desire, every want you ever had, you can act on it without remorse, without regret, without second guessing. Everything you ever wanted is here. Just let me.
I'm slowly pushing myself up off the ground. That wasn't my turn, though, right?
That
was a defense roll.
I don't remember. Didn't you try to attack him first?
No.
Mine was
I
also
just
a
waiting for it.
defense.
Yeah. Yours was a defense. So Petra's at the top of the order after this. But I guess Cedric, then you can attack. Did he come to you? Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So I push myself up, and I say, I don't want what you're trying to sell. And 99.
The boat just rocks the minute that you go to walk towards him, and you like stumble over into the snow, some of the bloody snow by your face. Petra, it's your turn.
Petra's gonna take a careful aim and fire her weapon again.
Perfect. I think when you aim, you get a bonus damage.
That's damage.
That's just
Sorry.
a twin, yeah.
That's just damage.
Can't roll damage yet.
Sorry. 34! I hit.
Perfect.
And I picked from the list of weapons a 32 millimeter automatic weapon, which was common in the 20s.
Brilliant.
Just to give me a weapon chart.
And what's the
damage? Is 1d8 is the reason that I chose it. It's like one of the simplest weapons that does a 1d8.
It definitely is. So give me another damage roll then.
I will do it. Ups, sorry.
68 damage.
7 damage.
Yeah, you take his head off, or like you knock him back and you kill him. So tell me how that looks.
So this creature like lunged at Cedric and managed to like hit him with his fist, and Cedric stumbled away, and then with a wave Cedric sort of like plowed into the deck of the boat, and this creature started like walking up on him, and Cedric just took a couple of unsteady steps, again with the boat heaving in either direction, and just took careful aim and popped his head right off.
And it sings clear through as he falls over on the deck, dead. And as you each share a momentary breath, the ship quakes with tremendous force. All of you are leapt off the ground at least a foot. Those of you, luckily, who are lying down or holding onto the railing don't go flying. But everyone roll dexterity, sorry. Just a straight up and down.
This is so action-packed.
Success.
99.
No.
Oh no.
It's not my 97, but it's close. I'm getting there.
I also fail, but not a 99.
Okay, well, 99 is technically a critical fail, so you will get something different, unfortunately. Justin, you succeeded. You roll over as the ship bucks, and splinters of broken metal come flying past you. As you see, in the light of the bridge, the Queen Mary bow crash into the back of the Osiris. With a large wave, it just brings this tremendous force, spinning the ship across the water. Petra, you grab onto the railing in time, but as you come crashing back down, seeing the bow of the ship, pieces of metal come flying at you, and you take 1d4 damage to your personage. Jan, you buck up, and as you try to hold on, you lose grip and go splashing into the icy cold water as the ship passes by you. It screeches across the hard metal. And Jan, actually, despite the commotion, the bridge light is illuminating the deck and the water that you've landed into, and another figure lands beside you, who comes up for water almost instantaneously. Abdul, normal-faced, spurts out water and gasps and says, "Jan, you're alive!" And he starts swimming towards you. "Barely! Edgar, he's chained!" And he starts swimming towards the ladder that's bucking sort of up and down against the side of the Osiris.
We just got to get out of the water.
"Quickly! We need to swim back to the ship!" And he's actually farther than you as you swim towards the ship. Do you have swim?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm
Well, either way, you're going to roll it, so let's hope so.
I don't see. I do not have it.
Okay. Well, it should have
20%.
a bulk stat.
So 88.
Yeah, no, so you go underwater almost immediately, and Abdul luckily sees this and starts swimming towards you. Petra, Cedric, what are you doing as you see the ship crashed into the Osiris, but sort of just reels back on the screeching as the waves come up and down? It's still sort of staying in place with the indentation it's made against the bulkhead of the boat, just scraping up and down.
So we hit another ship?
The ship hit you, the Queen Mary, that was
ship
like
hit us.
docked. Yeah, that was docked off,
Okay.
and then you rode to it. With the thunderous waves, it's sort of been moving forward and back. The two ships just smashed into each other. Again, there's no momentum of yet. It's just, or no, rather, engine power. Just the two ships sort of crashing amongst like toys in a bath.
Petra took quite a blow to the head when, despite passing her dodge roll, she failed. She did fail. With the 4 points of damage, I feel like she's thrown from her feet and knocks her head against the railing, and kind of like cuckoo birds around her head. And then as she hears the shouts of Jan from the water and recognizes that Abdul's in there too, she starts looking around for some kind of safety equipment.
Yeah, there's absolutely safety equipment. It would be a
So
terrible
she
boat
grabs
if it
one of
wasn't
those-
easily accessible.
life preservers on one of those very long ropes and just like throws it out into the water.
Yeah, perfect. And it lands pretty close to the boys in the water. And Abdul tries to make for it, but is having a difficult time swimming as well with the churning of the waves. Rob, however, or Jan, I should say, however, with the benefit of the flotation device, you can hold on to it, him being farther than you. So, what do you do?
Once I've got a hold of the rope, I'd like to sort of keep a hold of that and try and toss the flotation device further out to him, just to see if I can get it a little closer.
Sure. Why don't you give me a dexterity roll or a whatever else you think would be
And
appropriate?
do I have one more XP to save this guy?
I think so.
Not sure.
If you haven't used the one from Bjorn, you have one.
I think I used one from Bjorn, and I saw one after that.
You can use your 97 if you want. You don't have to
Sure.
waste it on that. Unless this is a 97, which is going to laugh.
It is an 18.
Wow. Yeah. So you not only get it around Abdul, saving my favorite character, you also sort of secure yourself firmly to it as the two of you swing back to the Osiris. And Petra, you see them climbing up the small ladder. And as you do, the boat was pretty securely tied, actually, the small boat that is against it. And you sort of look down, and Abdul sort of looks up at you and says, "We should just head back to the Queen Mary." As you look, you see the hull of the Osiris taking on water and slowly sinking. Cedric, what are you doing?
Dang.
Cedric is lying in the snow. He's just pushed himself over onto his back after just barely managing to hold on to the ground, and he's been seeing stars as well. But as he lies there, he sees the snow falling and how beautiful it is. But then his reverie is disturbed by a voice that enters his head. It's the voice of his mama. And it says, "Cedric, what are you doing on the ground, boy? You want me to hit you again? Huh? Get your ass up. You think I'm gonna go easy on you? You think the world is gonna go easy on you? Get your ass up, boy." And slowly, with a slight smile on my face, "And wipe that smile off your face!" I start pushing myself out of the snow, blood pooling around my stomach, my head aching from where Edgar hit me. And I kind of stagger, and I start hearing another voice that says, "We need to get off the Osiris." And I turn and look towards where we had the boat tied up, or to the ladder.
Perfect. Yeah. And you...
And where is it? Is it still...
It's over
there,
where
or is
Petra.
it-
You look over and you see Petra leaning over the side, sort of. She's shouting something below towards who you assume someone must have fallen in the water. And it's sort of all moving in slow motion. The
I
bucking
make
of the
my way
ship,
over there.
the massive front end of the Queen Mary, sort of now receding a little bit off from the time it smashed, and you're nervous of it hitting again with the bucking of the waves. So you move over to Petra, and as you grab her on the railing, you see Abdul lowering himself into the lifeboat.
Cedric, we have to get to the Queen Mary.
I'm moving as fast as I can.
On down to the lifeboat. We'll get it fired up.
Okay. All right. Okay. And blood dripping, I make my way to the edge, and is anyone there to help me down, or?
Yeah, the four of you make your way down. Abdul and Yan are shivering profusely. I mean, everyone is at this point. Petra is holding her head as she helps herself down, and eventually the four of you exit the Osiris as it's sinking sort of beneath your feet. The rungs of the ladder are already below the water, and as you pull away from it, you swear you can still hear the cackling laughter from the boat, from the hull below. Again, the snow has stopped falling now, and the large waves are sending this small boat hurtling up and down towards the Queen Mary, which is now sort of pulled off in the distance a little bit. The cold black water splashes against your faces. The icy wind just runs up your spine, Yan, as the water is freezing it crisp to your skin. It's running wild, and despite the horrors of what you're experiencing now, it still lingers in your mind's eye. The face, despite the violence of the sea around you, your mind is locked in the moments before. The eerie grin on the woman's face, on Edgar's face, the sharp, inhuman teeth, the way she almost welcomed death. She smiled at the barrel of your gun, Petra, and said that she had already been saved. And your eyes turn up towards the Queen Mary. She's pulled away from the boat for the time being. The first time you've seen her since leaving the ship, however long ago. In fact, Yan, you check your watch, and the time says 3 a.m. You know you last checked it at 8:30 p.m. The time passed by without even noticing. How long you were frozen on the deck of that ship, you have no idea. The ship above you, covered in snow, colder than you remember, it fills you each with a sense of dread as Abdul paddles furiously against it, unsure of what horrors await for you in the Yellow Star cruise liner. And I think we're going to end it there for tonight. I think that's probably a good place to end it.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Game 2, Part 2. Oh, a huge thank you and fantastic job to these brilliant investigators for doing such an amazing job.
Thank you.
You
run a good game.
Thank you. Well, you did such a great job. Such a good balance of horror and combat, and I really appreciated you guys stretching a little bit of your characters' backstories and experiencing the horror of the moment. Yeah, and I loved when you were looking at that picture of that the boy drew, and Cedric, I love when you were talking about that your mom, I should say, speaking your mind. And Petra, you did such a great job aiming that weapon and saying that badass line, and then also comforting the woman and like holding her like a child almost and being like, everything's gonna be all right. And the realization.
Petra was clearly the action hero here.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
So good. You guys did such a great job. Well done.
Thank you. Good game.
Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, Endgame XP. Who deserves it today?
I gotta give it to Rin.
Yeah?
She called the thing with the captain. I posted it in our chat at 9:13 p.m. Rin said, "We don't know if the captain is really the captain, though. Only the boy would know at this point, and he can't talk. You may have left a killer on the Queen Mary. Lol."
Lol.
Rin called it.
She sure did. She knows my games pretty well.
She does. Yeah,
knows my
any
style.
kind of kindly NPC or anyone who's like seen in a good light in the beginning is probably going to be a murderer.
Yeah, and anyone seen in a jerk light is probably a good guy. Minus Edgar. He ended up being
Yeah,
a
fuck
monster,
that
too.
guy.
Well,
Well, the exception that proves the rule.
yeah, that's
That's
true.
right.
At least it wasn't Abdul.
I'm really happy for Rin as well. I think Rin is a great choice. Let's give it to Rin.
Right? Great job.
Bravo.
Well
She
done.
said she was settling down with like a big pad of paper at the beginning of the episode as well. So
As she should be. I'm really happy. There's some. I saw a few people immediately pick. In fact, she was one of them to pick immediately on the Dreamland scene. She was like, "Oh, I wonder if this is blank blank's thing," because that was definitely a callback for specific reasons. Because this is a continuation, and she's like caught it immediately. I didn't even think. Couldn't imagine how. I was like, "How did she get that?" I was like, "There's nothing." I literally said, "There's a small apartment with a kitchen." And she's like, "It's this place."
Yeah.
It's like,
I was like,
fucking hell.
Yeah, that was amazing. I was
very
impressed.
Yeah, yeah. It was your anyway. So well done.
I
Rin.
also want to say welcome to Adam Ellie. Hi.
Hi, Adam
Nice to see
Ellie.
you on the stream.
Welcome to the pod.
First time.
He was
First
the one
time
that
listener.
commented that Robin Hood sleaze one.
Robin Wood. I don't know.
Robin Wood.
I believe that's the same Adam Alley from
Prince of Sleaze.
Tag, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Rob? Yeah.
Oh
Good
right.
to see you, my friend.
I've met him. I met you, Adam. Hey.
Yes.
Think of guns.
And we had someone else new tonight. Who else did we have new? We had Old World Blues.
Ooh, great
today.
name.
Lil Droogie. Hi, Lil Droogs.
Also great name.
Drew.
And Christina, David Johns' partner, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, did she come back?
Oh, welcome.
Yes,
I'm
she made her
glad.
own Discord account.
Very cool.
Beautiful.
Well, I'm so glad you guys joined. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Sorry it was a little whatever of the episode. I'm a bit under the weather, but I'll be more next week, tighter on the recalls and all that kind of shit. But thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We'll be back next week for Call of Cthulhu Part 3. And as my very good friend Justin always likes to say,
Have a great night, everyone.
have a great night, everyone. Good night!
Every day.